Welcome back, everyone, to Blood Bonds, the tale of the Ashen Court.
Oh,
How are you all feeling?
feeling good. I am recording these days, so sound might sound a bit different. Because Halldamir is indisposed on the recording front. He's still with us, but he can't record. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm on a laptop, and I think work would look down upon me if I started recording stuff.
Like, what are these huge, like 10 gigabyte files of something called Blood Bonds on here? Are you doing sorcery, sir?
It's necromancy. I don't want to slide.
Technically, he is doing sorcery.
True.
True. Just not blood sorcery. Let's be specific here.
Oh.
Yes, I am 2+.
Yeah, yes, I am actually.
Yes, I hope everyone will bear with us while we have Halldamir in exile.
Yep. Look at this new splash screen and everything. Wow.
Nothing too fancy, but I decided to throw it together. It also helps my loading stuff on my end.
Oh, sure.
But it's excellent. Last time you all completed an expedition to the north. Having cleared out a large group of goblins. Having also purged a shrine to Orcus.
Oh, was Orcus?
Yeah, it was Orcus.
I forgot about the Orcus part.
The shrine to undeath, which you were purged with holy light. Which was also the patron saint of those goblins. Take it you will.
Oh.
With that, though, you completed your mission and helped keep the north a safer place. That's the good news. But now we need to return closer to our regular state of affairs, our normal business. As the group begins to trudge their way back home, for the most part. Though Amnos was staying up in the north because his job up there does require him to help, helping in the annexation.
Yep. That's the bossing people around, really.
In addition, I'd just like to alert everyone, you can find in the PC journal underneath the council edicts, there's now a new folder called Repeatable in there.
Oh.
With a variety of special actions you can do with 0 different council roles.
Oh, cool. Rule by fear, ominous?
Wait, what? Eatable. By fear, yes, very good. I should point increasing time by 2 weeks. Basically, have 2 penalties. The roll, if any.
Will that work with PCs too?
What's that?
Will the rule by fear work for PCs too?
It can be used on a PC's mission, yes.
Huh.
He
I
like said,
He's the king.
come over here, I need to talk to you. Like,
This is only available because you're a paladin of conquest.
Yes, pretty good. Like it.
I mean, just take me to research and do it faster.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's like evil genius stuff.
In the event that Amleth instantly completes someone else's work, that means that person can take another action because they're not actually busy for the next 2 weeks.
Hey.
So, of course, it was at the cost of Amleth's action, but hey, that's part of the price.
I mean, sometimes you just need to rush
Just
stuff.
sit in that throne.
Yeah. Yeah, need to put on the rule sometime,
Yeah.
Yeah, over time, more councillors will receive some. Right now, you don't have access to one, for example, for the Magister, because the Magister can't actually access theirs yet. But as you grow, they'll be able to access this. So your magical infrastructure is kind of weak at the moment.
Yeah. Soon.
But yes. Let's go ahead and I can enable that for myself. So yes. As of course, the group disperses, let me have a look at what we were doing before. So, I can also load this up the council screen as well, doesn't matter. Welcome to week 3 of the council. Your budget's looking fairly good.
I don't see anything yet, but I assume it's loading.
It should be loading, yes. It'll take a bit, especially for someone in particular.
Study claims that decree is the most Crusader Kings of all of this.
Yeah, and it was actually something that I asked from Doug.
Yeah, it's like go and figure out how my claim to this is legit.
Yes.
Oh, that's what that
Or how
means.
anybody's claimed, or anybody's claimed anything is legit.
Oh.
Yes. Let me go look the history books.
Pretty much, it's Zed looks down at history books or starts looking over genealogical scrolls and okay, let's see. Yes, we can get a claim to this region because you were technically the 4th cousin of this noble over here. And
Interesting.
it's a whole bunch of mess. But hey, if you've got a smart individual who wants to try going through history books,
And you do, at the moment.
yes, your thing you messaged me about Isaac Howard can be something you via that action can be done.
Yeah, that's good.
But yes. Okay, that's everything going on. So let us proceed then. Navigation. I have so many maps to preload now. No, actually one's actually on properly. Sorry, Halldamir. These first couple ones, I couldn't really preload them too much. Waiting to everyone. Especially for Halldamir, loading time.
I'm at 79% over here.
74.
18.
18. Oh dear.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, good thing you're.
But I can start getting into it as everyone's going because we don't need the visuals yet.
Okay.
Not quite. The last time, going through actions that were being performed, you did have your enforcer who was calming unrest. Lady Marzara will report to the court that her action was successful.
Hey.
She has managed to eliminate some dissidents. And the general public seems far calmer now than they were before.
Excellent.
Doesn't appear to be any, at least, immediate adverse effects from it.
So what's her method of elimination here? Does she just show up and murder them, or does she bring them to justice, or lock them up, or do we know?
Do you inquire for additional details about what happened?
I guess I don't care enough.
Because you are free to ask for details of exactly what she did this week.
No. As long as the results are there, I don't feel like I need to ask.
Very well. Right. Let us roll a dice to see whose thing I handle next. Very well. His liege, Lord Amanus. You have, of course, been spending significant amounts of time up in the cold north that is Sorkai. Firstly, with the expedition, of course, that the group had done, but also you have work up here to do. Before you, you see the glistening elven city quickly being taken over. Troops already atop the walls. Your forces moving around. Mostly soldiers up here right now, but you are seeing the first spattering of some of the civilians you convinced last time, slowly making their way here. Slowly.
Yeah.
You see a couple of carpenters, a stonemason, some blacksmith's apprentice who made his way up here.
Yes.
It may not be a full community quite yet, but the works are in place. You also see the starts by the Radiant Church, who you had ordered to relocate one of their buildings up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who has some of their own personal stonemasons starting to renovate one of the elven buildings on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Having claimed what was once a rather large, from what you can tell, a rather large elven dance hall.
All right, fair enough. Finally, that gets to any use. I mean, dancing, whatever. Can't kill anyone with dancing.
It is taking more resources than they would like, but you did help fund for some of it.
Yeah. And it is their best interest, after all, to be up here. So, as we have established.
Already at this point, walking around the frozen settlement, there's already the occasional glimmerings of almost these kind of pulses of heat you can see kind of raise up from the stonework, and brief bits of like steam where a bit of ice melts straight into gas. From the massive tower, the spire that overlooks the settlement, you can see the occasional glimmer of magic fire through it. As you're understanding, Auntie Makara is inside, channeling her power into it, attempting to restart the system.
I thought that place was like completely trapped up.
The upper floors of the tower are still trapped up, but the at least central area where the wards were controlled from is at least being controlled.
All right. So, right. So she's. Do we know the extent of the effect of the wards once they are fully activated? Like, what exactly? I assume like there's temperature control, right?
Yes, that is the primary ward you're attempting to get reactivated for the moment, on top of course, stabilizing the defensive ward boosted before.
Yeah.
Essentially, the defensive wall will make it so anyone attempting to attack the outer wall or climb it, well, the city will try to stop them.
Yeah. I mean,
from what you can tell, electrocution seems to be the city's main form of element.
All right. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Given everyone also tends to be covered in like water and ice from marching through this place.
Yeah.
It tends to be more effective.
Pretty good, for sure.
As for the heating wards, from what Auntie Makara has described to you at least, it will make the entire inside bounds of the city walls a comfortable temperature that you shouldn't need to wear more than a jumper and be fine.
Okay, it's not bad.
Is there like, how does it create heat? Is it just changes the air temperature, or like does it create a magical sun, or like what's the method of heating? Do we know?
Yes, Makara can explain this to you as you kind of. I imagine you'll go into like the Mage's Tower and talk with her as she's working.
Yeah. He'll have a chat with her.
And she'll help show you one of the things she has sitting on the desk beside her, which is a magical crystal that's kind of sitting in a piece of masonry.
All right.
She explains that throughout the city they locate a number of these magical foci embedded into the stonework, and through them it outputs a small. It's only a small amount each, but a small radiant bit of fire magic. Not enough to set anything ablaze, but enough to heat the area around it.
Right.
Apply this to enough of these stones throughout enough of the city, and the entire thing warms up to at least a livable temperature.
Right. Neat.
All the power, of course, being routed from the spire being the kind of focal point for the spell.
Right.
She does know, in theory, she sees no reason this couldn't eventually be expanded to, if we build the city bigger, she couldn't build more focuses for more parts of the city. Or for outside the city even, potentially, but obviously that is good, it does cost more resources to expand the wards.
Yeah.
She does know a couple of the wards do appear broken in a couple of the old buildings, so some of them are not in the best state for living, but the majority of the city is still in top shape.
Right. Oh, well, that's good.
The other thing Makara has found is there is definitely more wards on the city, but most of them appear to be long dead at this point. Which is an interesting thing nonetheless. Such as it looks like apparently there was once a ward that prevented teleportation on the city.
Oh, that's very powerful.
Oh.
It's completely dead, but
yeah,
the remnants of it still lie in the city, lie in the tower. Potentially one day, if you were really interested, that could be something to be researched and rebuilt.
Can we wonder. Can
But
we do like Dalaran? Can we make it fly like a flyable city? That would be a headquarters.
Rikara doesn't think so, but she doesn't know for sure, admittedly.
With enough power, anything is possible, right?
And unfortunately, a lot of the more intricate notes in the city are hidden in the upper levels, which are still trapped.
Right. We should probably look at that at some point, see if we can breach that upper level.
It'll be easier to do once you have control of the main city.
Yeah. Apart from that, if Amanas is not needed in any particular place,
Directly, no.
Then he'll just be general overseeing and being a king, I suppose, like standing atop the city gate battlements, in his dramatic fur coat with his fur boots, making him able to withstand minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And just stand there dramatically, looking sternly and benevolently on any people that approaches.
Between the walls and those boots, you could be otherwise completely naked and be fine.
I'm not going to be naked, but no, he'll just try to strike, I guess, an impressive and a striking figure on top of the battlements. He thinks it's good for every citizen to at least see him, to know that he's the lord of this place, and know that it is to him they ultimately answer, and also as a show of respect from him, because they are certainly giving up everything to come up here, and he appreciates it.
You definitely hear rumors and mutters around. There's definitely people talking about, like, wait, that's Amanas?
Yep.
Like, some people are impressed, some people are kind of scared.
He will have the halo glittering as well. The silvery light sort of shining out from him.
You have the occasional soldiers also have Lady Eliza kind of come up to you and ask, like, what should we do in this bit? What should we do with this?
Yep. Absolutely. He'll do all of that stuff, and be clad in his full plate fur cape, and then the boots, making him able to stand in the cold without huddled in a lot of winter clothes and whatnot. So he can be that striking, like what do you call them on a ship?
Figurehead?
Yes, figurehead. Exactly. Thank you.
As everyone else, meanwhile, is kind of huddled up in furs or in big hats.
I am beyond such mortal things.
You're just not even flinching, just standing.
Exactly. Making him more, because he has to be a symbol, right? That's the burden of royalty. So playing on their myths and just making him seem even more powerful and otherworldly than he, than a normal person.
As you're working up there, you hear footsteps from across the what's the top of the walls called again?
Battlements?
Yes, the battlements. As you see someone who is definitely dressed in far more warm clothes than you are.
Yeah.
A familiar half elf walk down with his clipboard.
I have a
little bit huddled, but you also notice he's got a couple of mana crystals currently pumping out heat around him.
I see.
His artificing work clearly going well.
Yep.
Enjoying the view up here.
Amanas nods slightly towards Raiden and says, "Yes, I believe it is beneficial for my new subjects to see me unafraid and strong on the battlements, welcoming them and guarding them and observing them. I find that if you believe that you are being observed, you will keep in line." Sort of slowly turns towards Lord Raiden. Sweeps the cape a little bit to the side, catches the wind even more dramatically. He looks at the clipboard, looks at Raiden, and says, "I am guessing you have some seneschal or otherwise bureaucratic issue."
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I do have an issue. No, in the fact I also have good news.
Right? He perks up a little bit and says, "Well, good news always welcome. Proceed."
Well, I'll give you the good news first. We've had a bit of a surplus of manpower up here. I'm not sure exactly what you did, but the number of soldiers up here and the number of laborers up here has exceeded my original estimates.
Odds. Well, that's good news. I suppose we were rather convincing, like in Freyfrost.
I would say you were rather convincing in particular.
Smiles slightly. Why, thank you. We also solved the whole issue with the goblins up here for now, I suppose, making the area a bit more secure. I also believe we solved a bit of a mystery of disappearing troops and whatnot. Maybe that boosted morale some as well.
To a degree. Raiden looks over his notes a bit. As a result, though, we have some idle hands with not actually anything to do for the moment. Which, to me, says that we could assign them something else to build.
Right.
There are, of course, we have many empty buildings inside the settlement, as well as area outside of it. So I wanted your input on what sort of thing you would like them to get a head start on. I'll try to put together an estimate for it, but we can just get a head start on building something else, be it trying to get an extra granary built up here, more defense for the walls for the soldiers. Could try setting up market stuff already.
Nods slowly, thinking. Well, I think that for the moment, expanded granaries would be a prudent decision. We are still gaining control over the city, so a market seems a bit premature. We have dealt with the most urgent military threat up here. I think our soldiers are quite... the place should be quite safe and easy to guard for the moment. But we are still in winter and snow, and so having a larger granary might be beneficent for that.
The elves had some what to me appears to be old storage areas underneath in the mountainside behind the city, warmed enough by the mountain itself and from their own heating crystals. We could probably convert one of those into a granary. Let's see. He looks over his paperwork slightly and informs you that in in-universe terms, it's going to cost you a total of if you want to have the granary, want to have them do the granary, they can have that built for 50 build points.
50.
Of the city.
Okay.
But it would be done automatically as part of the annexation.
Sure. And what would be the benefits? Do we have? Is there any?
The granary has two major benefits to it. The first one is in the event that there is ever some kind of famine event or something similar, you will not take a massive hit on your income for that.
Yep.
Nor will you take a massive unrest penalty from famine, at least for Kai's region.
Yep.
The other advantage of it, mostly it's mostly a security thing, actually.
Right.
It's mostly just that you won't, you can't be caught off if there's suddenly a famine.
Yeah. Or a siege, I suppose.
Or a siege. In the event you're sieged, obviously food will run out quite fast, so it will help keep the morale up of your soldiers and stuff like that.
All right. Fair enough. What would be the benefit of, say, the marketplace?
Preemptively setting up the marketplace in Lord Raiden's mind will help kind of get commerce moving sooner than it would. It should result in, even early on, a slight bump in tax revenue from the location once the city's running. And moreover, having up here might allow us to try to get more visitors to come up to Sorkai, as it will be another trading hub.
It's true. He's not wrong. What do we have to trade with up here?
Obviously, Sorkai doesn't have the best access to resources. It does have access to a surprising amount of lumber.
Yep.
With the local area.
Yep.
On top of that, as something which the group had already considered, is the sheer amount of mana crystals in the local area.
Yep.
That could become a very potent resource for trade. Though, admittedly, that May get some disapproving looks from certain people, but it's very valuable.
I mean, a mana market, I suppose. Okay. And what was the last thing? Like defenses?
Could start working on something defensively for the troops, such as perhaps building a barracks up here or building an extra watchtower somewhere on the route.
All right.
Obviously, these help defensively or could help you house more soldiers in total, depending on which way you go.
Right. I mean, I do, having thought about it some more, I do like the marketplace. Just, that income, I look at that 2+2 and I'm like, my instinct is to increase that that income number. Is it the same cost for the marketplace?
Let me double check. The marketplace would cost a total of 40 to get built.
40, and how it would increase the income with how much?
It would increase the income by 2 once the city is built.
Okay, I mean that seems it will pay itself off rather quickly, actually. Yeah. All right. After having talked this over with Raiden some more, Amnas will actually decide that the marketplace is probably a wise investment, and will suggest that we go for that to start with, and the increased income generation will then help us purchase the more like defensive minded upgrades.
All right, can do. I'm sure the local smiths will enjoy actually having a proper place to work.
Oh yes.
Now onto the bad news.
Oh good. Amanas frowns. Says yes. What?
What you expected this when I walked up here.
Nods.
It appears that as we've been going through renovating one of the buildings, that the bugbears left us an unexpected surprise.
Nice.
There are some rather vicious pets of theirs.
Nods slightly and says, "What type of pets?"
Large, furry, and with teeth.
So telling me Vicus is locked in there.
Braden just snorts and just bursts out.
He says, "Well, wolves, bears. What is in there more precisely?"
Combination. We've got one relatively small bear in there, a couple of wolves, and I'm not sure what the last thing is, but it's as mangy as the Nordsworth, so if that gives you any context.
Amanas frowns slightly and says, "Well, I guess I should go and take a look. Maybe I can recognize what that last thing is. Apart from that, the other animals sort of meanders a bit. If they are in there, maybe they are somewhat domesticated, and perhaps we could use them as guard animals or something. If not, we would have to kill them. But perhaps," he sort of thinks, "I assume that Zed is good at animal handling, but yes, then
I can also speak with animal if I prepare the spell.
yeah. So this definitely seems to be a Zed problem to solve, given his expertise here. Well,
Zed is quite a way away at the moment.
yeah.
And we don't have an easy way to contact him until he comes back to one of the keeps.
Amanas looks at his itinerary and tries to find out what Zed is doing.
He's off in some distant ruins killing slimes.
Oh, right. The slime killing. Right. Well, I mean, he is due back in a little bit, probably. As the slimes eat him somehow. But Amanas will go down to the menagerie or like the barn or wherever house is housing these creatures. And I suppose he'll take a look and see what's in there.
You peek inside, The door's been like barred up by some of the some of the locals who are working.
Yeah.
As you peek in, as you can like pry the door open slightly, there's already like a clawed paw scratching out as soon as you do.
Yeah.
As you kind of peek inside. Well, there's definitely quite a few of them in there. Ooh. And it kind of reeks a lot.
Yeah. No surprise there.
Yeah, you can see the bear and the wolves. It looks like there's definitely been some fighting going on there between them.
Yep.
And some kind of like snowcat of some kind.
Okay.
It's rather big, but yeah, some kind of snowcat.
A snow smilodon or something.
Something like that. It looks vicious.
I know, right? Well,
yeah, right. They all seem to be for the moment calm, but except for the one of course scratching through the door at you.
Right. Well,
obviously they're not liking visitors.
No. Is there like a skylight or like an entrance to the building that is not these front doors, like a small window or something?
There are windows in the building. Most of them have been boarded up. There is one on the upper level you could probably get a rope up to.
Yeah. Well, in that case, Amanas will say something along the lines of, well, toss some food in there from time to time so they don't die of starvation, and then we'll wait for Zed to appear again and see if he can perhaps sort out these animals. If they're feral and bloodthirsty and murderous, then, I mean, we'll have to kill them. But if they are like half domesticized, perhaps they could be harnessed for something. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have a guard bear for the palace. I like that idea.
The Radiant Guard Bear.
The Radiant Guard Bear. We can get like armor for him and stuff. That'd be pretty sweet.
And the raccoon, the Badger
Yes,
Knights.
exactly. The Badger Knights. We need them. Like there's a whole an ocean of possibilities are opening up here.
Yeah, and the advisor of your horse.
Yes, my horse advisor.
Full CK mode.
Yep, exactly. My horse is a better advisor than all of you.
But this reminds me, did I do what I think I did? No, I didn't. Because did I create? I couldn't remember if I created a decree for the horse.
You should definitely have a horse decree. Ruled by horse. Nay.
Roll D100 for random effects.
I vote nay. Something like that.
You voted that on the last 20 things which I voted on.
Yes, nay for everything. Oh,
you know how you got a yes man? He's the name man.
Yes, exactly. It's the opposite of a yes man.
It's the king's idea.
But yeah, no, I think so. There is a potential resource that could be harnessed with some work, perhaps, and I think that is worth looking into. If not, we'll have to kill him. But I like bears. I'd like to save the bear.
But for now, I suppose we will pan away then from Amanus in the north.
Yep.
Seems like construction is going well. Also, you took the market, so let me go ahead and edit that. Down to 335, 355. Right, let's see who's next up. Okay. That's fine. Apparently we're just going in order. Cyrus.
Yes.
You, of course, have spent your last after having rushed back from up here in the north. You have quickly had to jump into meetings with an ambassador from Reichhold.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, you are under the goals of perhaps trying to trade for the excessive amount of lumber they have, in return for something which perhaps you could offer from your lands. Before, you were given the suggestion of perhaps iron would be a decent resource to trade, given the amount that Lady Eliza has in surplus. But other things could potentially be traded as well. The man you have met with is a They're a rather gaunt-looking individual, dressed in fine merchant clothes. Though they're kind of like a season or two behind where they should be, like fashion-wise.
Mm-hmm.
As he sits there, rather imperiously looking across the table as you rush in from the snow. What is Ceres's approach with starting these diplomatic relations? Starting these trade negotiations. Is she gonna play hard? Was she gonna try haggling very hard? She could try to do flattery. How was her approach?
I think it's sort of a mixture. It's some flattery to get their guard down before haggling the price, or haggling whatever we're discussing. Sort of that difficult balance that Ceres prides herself at being able to manage.
Which part do you think would be kind of like your primary tactic, though, the haggle or the smooth?
No, smooth talking. She knows numbers decently well. She's a smart lady, but she knows that she can get far with just getting their guard down alone.
Very well. Could you roll me a persuasion?
1 second. Do you have our tokens down? Oh, it's there. There it is.
Not bad. Ceres begins to smooth her way through the meeting then. Yeah, you have your haggling skills, but you do quickly realize this person here actually has a very good head for numbers. Taking him on a pure battle of numbers would not be the easiest. But trying to stroke his ego, well, yeah, everyone's ego can be stroked.
That's There's has that on a t-shirt.
The negotiations go back and forth. Ceres attempting to get the best price for different resources. So far, progress seems relatively steady at Ceres' thoughts. Right now, she thinks that maybe this might come out as an overall. Maybe no. Currently, you think it's currently going out overall, maybe +1 to income overall?
Okay.
The man seems genuine enough and seems amiable to your negotiations. Though certainly he's playing hardball on you on the exact price. Still, progress has been made. I'm going to make a quick note down. You've got 19. Obviously, it's going to depend on how your negotiations next time go. Let's see the next part of the court. Yeah, we're just going in order, apparently. Ones each time. All right. Vicus.
Yes.
Spy master of the court. You hadn't set yourself a strong assignment for over this period. Instead, you would set an assignment to your protege. I believe last time we discussed it, you said you were picking out someone for him to shadow.
Yes.
What kind of individual would have you asked him to try shadowing? What kind of target are we looking at?
Oh gosh, I had this in my head last time and now it's fitted out. But now that I think about it, I could probably come to the same answer I did before. I would say given that most of our people are away, it would come down to the people that are remaining behind. And I believe that Lady Mizara is still within the supposed area, I suppose. And she's currently doing enforcing, right?
Frost as a hold, at least.
Yes. And given that she's naturally stealthy, and given that her metas are quite, well, I would say, immoral to a sense, I would feel that having Theo shadow her would be a good exercise in actually trying to track someone that is good at being hidden, but also not directly expose him to like the horrors of the world, but maybe slowly like teach him about it without actually forcing him to live through it, if you know what I mean. So yes, I think that would be my choice.
Very well. Theo has been, well, when you get back from your expedition, most asking around, very few people actually know where Theo has been. He's kind of just disappeared from everyone's radar.
Okay.
Which, admittedly, not unheard of for that good.
Yes.
And it perhaps takes Vickers some time to track him down himself. But after some time, perhaps him finishing his work, Vickers suddenly finds a knock on his door as he's writing some letter.
Come in.
As you see what to you appears to be a relatively old individual. Kind of white beard, old hat, kind of ragged old coat, kind of step inside and close the door behind them. Your mental sense is already tingling that you're sensing tons of mana in the air.
Okay.
As you hear a loud sigh be let out, as suddenly you see an illusion break and Theo just standing there, about a foot shorter than the illusion.
Vickers' his eyebrows are certainly raised at surprise. As he says, well, you are certainly the last person I expected to see come through the door looking like that, Theo.
He kind of grins a little bit before establishing a mental link with you.
Which is exactly the right way to do it.
It appears he's been practicing his spellcraft and
Indeed.
studying. And given he was shouting Lady Mazar, studying her spellbook she left lying around.
Oh, sweet.
As such, he has gained the spell Disguise Self.
That's great. He's a very good study. I'll definitely say that.
The fact you had him shouting Lady Mazar influenced his level up.
Yes.
But he makes his way over to you, musing to himself. He seems rather energetic right now. They're somewhat glad to no longer be in disguise, but also somewhat energetic, proud of himself, perhaps.
Yes, indeed.
As he begins to explain to you everything he's witnessed over the last couple of days. He explained how he followed Lady Mazara through the city streets, blending into the shadows the best he could. Quickly dashing away faster than he thought he could to try and avoid her when she suddenly turned around as if looking for someone.
Yes.
She is perceptive, and Theo knows that she knows someone was following her.
Yeah.
But as far as Theo knows, she didn't spot him.
Indeed.
Simply knew that someone was there.
Yeah, Vickers will make a mental note to tell her later it was an exercise, so she's not paranoid.
He he goes through explaining different matters of how he achieved different things. Some of it sounds very reminiscent of moves you would do, to be honest.
Oh, all right.
He's definitely been a bit of a fast study here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the boy's done very well. Vickers would certainly give him the praise he definitely deserves. But perhaps after the report being made, Vickers will ask, well, now that you've had a little bit of taste of an actual assignment, my question to you, Theo, is what would you like to learn more?
He kind of blinks, and you just like feel like a blink on the mental message as well as he kind of like, wait, what?
I've given you, or tried to give you, a taste of everything that I know, and also things that you are good at. And so the question I have for you is, if I'm to tutor you further, what would you personally be interested in?
Then the pause. He kind of looks rather unsure.
Now, you don't have to answer right away. This is something for you to think about. But I've often found that if you have passion in what you want to do, you do way better. But that being said, Theo, you've done very well. I am quite proud of your work.
Silence hangs in the air. Did you say that? So kind of just someone just looking around it for a moment. As you hear his voice mentally echo to you again. I kind of want to keep doing this. This was fun.
Well, if you enjoy doing this, then I will teach you more.
Dangerous. But it was also. No, I thought I was good at this. Studying, following.
Yes. As you said, it can be quite dangerous. However, if you take proper precaution and if you are careful, then most of the risk can be mitigated. But there is always a chance that things go wrong. And that is why we train. That is why we practice. So that when things go wrong, we can think on our feet.
He nods.
Well, if you have no further questions for me, Theo, I will leave you to your thoughts and leave myself to more writing reports and such.
Oh, also, he then suddenly blinks and then reaches into his back pocket and puts something on your desk.
Oh?
Miss Aris.
Oh.
As you look at it, and it's, she set up a bounty poster. Apparently, it's like one of the targets she decided to get rid of by bounty.
I see. Well, good to know that she's doing what she's supposed
Rather
to do.
well-drawn artwork on it of the person.
Really?
Yeah. The victim's face has been rather well drawn on the poster.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't know how accurate it is to real life, given you've not seen the person, but it looks really good.
All right. I have an artiste.
Some of an artist.
Yeah.
As Theo,
All right.
as Theo grins and just leaves you to your letter, but you can tell by the bounce that he goes, he's feeling proud of himself.
Yes.
There's definitely a bounce he kind of exits the room, putting the door shut.
As he leaves, Vicus kind of chuckles himself and reaches for a new piece of parchment, because now he's going to have to write a report to Lady Mazara about the training exercise.
Oh, what a mess you've created, Vickers.
He'll be great.
Yes, Theo is officially up to level 2 now.
Awesome.
With all that entails. Though not very many hit points, but that's to be expected.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Funny enough, the next person we're going to go to is. Ooh, okay. We're actually going to skip over that, it looks like, for a moment. Okay. Cyrus,
Yes.
return back to your you return back to your quarters after a long amount of diplomatizing. Heading through the dusty halls of Lady Eliza's castle, and you see something glowing from one of the drawers in your room. A faint red light glowing out, just kind of glowing through the cracks in the drawer.
Well, that's ominous. I mean, let's have a look, I guess. Maybe remind us about self-fulfilling spells that I have. I don't have Mage Hand. But okay, yeah, I'll open it.
Inside, it's the
Okay.
black sending stone.
Oh,
The runes engraved on top of it, gently glowing.
presuming that probably means there's a message. I don't know. How do I activate it? Is it like normal sending stones?
You don't know, you presume so.
Do I activate it? Try activate it?
You pick up the sending stone then. As you look over it, and then suddenly you hear a voice in the back of your mind, though you have no idea who sent it.
Okay.
Male voice, sounding rather flustered. I'll be there soon. Don't worry. I got everything you asked for. Meet me by old cabin.
By old cabin.
That's what you heard.
I think we need to send out the hounds to find an old cabin. But okay, good to know. I think that's something that maybe we can send some people to investigate. Maybe keep tell the border guards to be on the lookout for blood elves, maybe?
They've been unusual sight anyway, but
Yeah, but be hyper vigilant.
potential blood off in disguise.
And sure, terrorist? I don't know. Terrorist, I guess. Yeah.
Oh boy. You can inform the guards of such if you want to.
No, I think that is definitely not Ceres's job.
You can wait till the meeting and raise it to the others.
Yeah, I think it'll be a wait for a meeting to raise with the whole party.
It also feels odd as you're holding the stone right now. You've got a sensation in the back of your mind that's unusual. It's as if you sense, like, you can't really pinpoint it, but it's like you can sense another presence as you're holding the stone. Actually, multiple other presences as you hold the stone. Still, you're not sure exactly what to make of it. There is something definitely different about it. Still there. Something you can bring up. We'll move to Zed now. I know you've been waiting, Bethesda. Heading back, you've headed back to the ruins up in the northern mountains. Last time you were searching through here, you were bombarding slimes from orbit. As you return, there are still more slimes to be bombarded from orbit, but you did already make a decent chunk last time. And with it, you also found the location of what appeared to be some kind of vault.
Yes, certainly, I have.
Built heavily into the side of a building.
I have an idea how to open it.
What is Zed's plan?
Spend a lot of spells. It's the way of doing it.
Very well. Zed approaches the massive vault door.
Yeah. First thing first, I have set my spells for these purposes. So first spell to cast is locate traps. Do you want me to click all the spells for you so you know what they do, or just go in them like?
Go ahead and click through them as you use them.
Yeah.
That's locate traps, huh? Okay.
Starting with locate traps. Finding anything that is trap-like, because he doesn't have weaknesses in here. And spells makes things much easier. After that, detect magic.
Well, the first thing is your detect traps does immediately spot something.
Oh, that's handy.
As you come to realize that the door of this thing is set up to electrocute anyone who tries turning the handle.
Magical trap.
There is also a magical trap as well. That's a mechanical one in that case. There is also a magical one on top of that on the door. The magical one, a simpler one, but it appears that you sense just on the inside of the door, there appears to be some kind of rune engraved on the ground on the inside. Perhaps anyone who steps over it to be surprised. That's fun for you. Your detect magic confirms its location.
Sadly, there's a mechanical trap at the door.
There is a mechanical one, yes.
It triggers from like pushing the thing.
It looks like from attempting to open it without the lock disengaged properly.
Okay, so then next thing would be like, looking for disengagement mechanism and that kind of thing. And to aid in that, would he also use detect magic? Oh, I think it already. And get magical sense also from the trap beyond. After a little bit pondering about trap, could I use? This is a bit of an off-topic idea, but could I use Thorn Whip? Grab on the handle and trigger the spell by that way. But I didn't try pulling the handle with Thorn Whip. So it might shock me back with Thorn Whip.
You can try.
I mean, I could do that. Or, I could get a sacrifice animal fairy thing. It's a bit rude for the spirit, I guess. Yeah. I don't want to hurt the animal, so let's go with Thorn Whip.
Okay,
If I
so
can actually know, let me see. I don't have a way of discarding it. I don't know any of the mechanical things. I guess I could investigate if there's like a simple way to, I don't know, get out of it. Then he's just gonna go, Thorn Whip it to see if it opens.
you chuck your Thorn Whip at the vault and try, I suppose, just yanking hard to try and open it.
Yes.
You can attempt me a reflex save.
Sure. 8.
Well, good news and bad news. So good news and bad news. The good news is it appears the vault is old enough that the vault itself, the lock on the vault has actually become mostly rusted. So with enough force, it can just be snapped. Like the lock on the door can be snapped open with just a hard enough tug on the mechanism. Also, good news. Your Thorn Whip does help insulate you from the trap. Partly. The bad news is partly. As the electricity goes, and you'll be taking half of this because you're using the Thorn Whip to grab it instead of just putting your hand on it.
I need to learn my set at some point.
if you were to see the reflex save, you would have been able to avoid all the damage. But
I understand. Oh well. That's fine. That is fine. But the door opens, I assume.
indeed, you have broken the lock on the door open.
Did my detect magic, tell me what kind of magical trap it is?
Not really.
It's 2 cents.
You know it's some kind of trap on the inside of the door, and it had an aura of transmutation.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on it.
You want to fight it with Dispel Magic.
Yes, in that
roll me a Dispel check.
Okay, let me see. Is it higher than that of a spell?
It is. I'm sure you can do it.
In my caster level, let me just what that is. That is 15, so 50 spell.
As Ed you cast your magic out at the trap. There's a brief like green arc of electricity that kind of darts out and seems to hit a nearby piece of furniture. But it does not strike you. Though you do notice the nearby wooden chair now appears to be made of stone.
Petrified as well. Interesting.
Good thing you weren't petrified.
I mean, I could get away from it. Who knows?
As you can attempt to go inside.
I mean, I have more spells, so why not cast another Find Trap as I go inside?
What are you casting inside?
I have another Find Trap.
Very well. You cast another Find Trap. You do actually find a couple of more minor ones on individual lock boxes in there, but they're not big. They're like little minor things, basically. Nothing that's really going to actually stop you. It appears for the most part you're relatively safe inside the vault with a number of very small lock boxes in the walls. which, given there's nothing stopping you, you can just spend time breaking them all open.
And he spends time. I have like Aura of Vitality. I can cast that to heal myself fully. Couple rounds and then go tinkering with traps. Keep my healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Zed is definitely not the best person with traps.
He has his brute way of healing things.
Yeah, you can just brute force the way through it all. So.
And if I need to become more brutish, he will just enlarge him and mash things.
Yeah. I mean, that would definitely work if you want to enlarge yourself. You can maybe just rip the lockboxes out of the wall.
Oh yeah. But after healing.
Just use all of your druidic strength.
Yeah, why not? Spells are my way of doing things. That is how I will plunder the vault. Through spells.
Well, you can certainly do so. The brute force method does have its disadvantages. Certain things tend to get broken. But hey, it's the nature of how things go.
They broke, they are not magical, so they are minor things.
That's one thought at least.
Yeah. The wisdom of the old. If it breaks,
Yes, we'll go with that. Can you roll me 2d6?
And I have also many spells, so 9.
Okay, that was a 3 and a 5, a 3 and a 6. Let's see what you find. Oh, good. The first item you find is this.
Wait, what? Really?
It's the first item you find in the vault, alongside a number of musical textbooks. The second item you find is slightly more valuable. At least slightly more valuable, to be sure. It's a scroll.
Scroll of.
Well, Zed takes the scroll and looks over it. It's a rather fancy scroll. It's kind of on this kind of like gold leaf paper. Very fine calligraphy work, and as you read through, your eyes go slightly wide. It's a scroll of raised dead.
Gonna. Hello, Scroll of Crested.
Which was the most expensive scroll that could have appeared. So good job. And yes, because it's a scroll of raised dead, it comes, the diamonds are pre-baked into it. That's a thing.
It's a 5th level spell, I think.
5th level spell, yes.
And scroll customize.
Raised dead has a casting time of 1 hour, range of touch, verbal somatic material, by bards, clerics, or paladins.
Well, I have said bard or a paladin in my mind. Just good. After that, if there's any like historical value, just gonna pick them up.
There's a couple of small little like knickknacks and like historical things in here. You find what appears to be a small engraved like dwarven dagger in here, like a clan dagger. A couple of old rune stones, a few things here and there, none of which is of any monetary value. Historically, it could be interesting.
strictly interesting.
But not monetarily any use. Not everything stored in a vault is necessarily valuable. It might be something sentimentally valuable.
I mean, I can just sell stuff if I need.
And a lot of stuff was also either destroyed when trying to break in, or is just rotted from the elements.
Yeah.
They've been, the village has been destroyed for a while, and the oozes have been around.
Yeah, goddamn users. I need to kill some more or something.
Still, they couldn't get to the scroll. They couldn't get to that scroll at least. So that's something.
Oh yeah, it's fucking $50 or it's fucking money if I want to sell it. Or if it could be sold.
Moreover, though, Zed has the rest of the oozes to deal with, which, to be honest, doesn't take Zed long. The more important question is, what is Zed going to do with all of the gelatinous ooze all over the floor?
One thing first is to get his thermal cube. Anything else can go. I guess to be magically sold if Ceres doesn't need it.
Yes, that was one of the things that you'd wanted to potentially trade that goo for, was a thermal cube from Scully.
Yes. I need my ways to keep myself warm.
And you know what? They are happy if Zed can gather up enough of the goop. They would be happy to buy it for you for a thermal cube.
Sure.
The question is, how good is Zed at gathering all of it up? No, he spilled it.
I mean, is it a survival check?
It would either be a survival or arcana.
As I go survival, it's one higher, and as I use my inspiration to roll this in advantage. Uh, 25.
You want to stick with the 25?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Zed can quite easily. Zed is no stranger to gathering up parts of dead creatures. Mostly not usually oozes, but still. It's not that different. It's like gathering up the blood of a creature.
Yeah, or bones.
A bunch of jars later, and you have several gallons of ooze to bring back to the Scully.
Good.
Who seem rather impressed.
I will tell them my tactic, how I got them. And if they need any more things to kill.
Well, they will certainly offer you the thermal cube as promised originally. And just given the sheer amount that Zed, the sheer amount of this stuff that Zed is able to bring back safely, they would also offer Zed, if he's interested, in a couple of potions.
Kind of push.
As they'll offer you 2 potions of greater healing.
No. I shall take those.
And hey, you cleared out one of the village areas, which mean, well, one of the village, that keeps everyone safe, and it might be more territory for them. So all good.
All good. How long am I problem?
As you get back to the castle, like having just stepped in the front door, you suddenly immediately have a messenger standing who's probably been waiting for you out in the cold, informing you that you were needed up north by Lord Amanus.
I shall go meet Lord Amanus.
How would you travel up to the north quickly?
By reindeer. I summon a reindeer and I go with full speed.
Amanus,
I turn into a reindeer and...
Amanus, it is several days later, and suddenly you see a reindeer stampeding up the hillside.
Full blast.
This crazy or great reindeer.
Like there's a bunch of peasants on the road who all have to make themselves clear as a reindeer rushes past.
Jesus Christ! By the All Father, as the reindeer just tramples people horribly. Oh dear. Well, I mean, seeing the slightly old, I guess, looking reindeer.
Oh yes.
Amanus will have a guess who that might be, and he will he will head down to meet Zed as soon as he has entered the city.
Zed comes to meet you.
Yes.
Turns back to Elf.
He nods and says, "Ah, yes, Zed. Good that you can make it here. I hope your excursions into the slime ruins were profitable."
Yes, have a potion of greater healing.
Oh. I'm not...
Actually, have a second one.
Oh.
You can give it to anyone else.
Oh my goodness. All right, Amnas will reach out and take the potions. Let me see.
Also, if you want Robert to make Sir Robert to make better songs, I have a wand also for that.
Oh, it'll be great for the coronation, no doubt.
Yes.
I can add the potions to your sheet if you need them.
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you. For everything, I'll take a long rest here if that's okay.
That's fine.
Pop everything up. There we go.
He also gives you the scroll of rested.
Oh.
Just in case, if I go down.
Can I cast that? I guess I can. I mean, I'm a divine.
Amnas, in theory, could try to cast it.
You have to make a caster level check if you cannot cast that level spell slots. But yeah, technically you can cast it.
I'll keep it on my person. It's good to have your own life insurance on you in case needed. Right?
For sure.
I mean, that also hints if you need to sell it for the armor also.
Yes, exactly. I need to buy this armor, so how about...
Yeah, certainly, scrolls of raised dead aren't something that just tend to lie around. They're pretty...
Oh, dear Master Blacksmith, a tragedy about your wife. But how about we strike a deal? You make me an awesome armor and I will raise her from the dead. How about that? That sounds like a deal.
I will add the scroll to your sheet as well.
Thank you. I see, that's what we need. We need to find like a bereaved master smith or something and be like, hey, you know what? You make this for me and I'll raise your lady back. It is within my power.
I mean, yeah, it's a rather beautiful sealed scroll. Kind of, I said, like gold. It's like gold leaf paper alongside like celestial script on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well. Then, he'll pocket all that stuff, and then he'll turn and say, well, the reason I called you up here is that it seems the bugbears and gnolls have left something of a menagerie in one of the buildings. He'll motion vaguely towards the city. There seems to be a bear and wolves and some sort of big cat creature of some description. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And there might be other things in there. We might have to execute and just hold them if they are feral, but my thought was if they are somewhat trained by the gnolls, perhaps could be cowed into obedience and used as guard animals. Patrol animals or similar things for the guard or for the palace itself. And I thought, you being the premier communer with nature that we have, that you would be the most likely person get them under control.
I mean, I can try, but we saw how my speaking with Wolf went last time.
I'm
not the best speaker.
Amnas quirks an eyebrow, I suppose, but maybe you don't need to necessarily speak too much to them. Maybe just being a friendly, druidic phase, yes, will calm them down. If we can somehow communicate to them that we wish them to work for us, and in return they will get a place to stay and food, they can make a choice, I suppose. He sort of frowns a little bit. He's not sure if a bear is like conscious enough to make a choice, but he has a magical horse that's almost as smart as him, so who knows, right?
I mean, I can later on, I have heard rumors, make them to be as smart as your horse.
It's infused with grand intelligence.
But sure, I can go speak with them, or
Yeah, see if they can be cowed and controlled and put to use. If they can't, we'll have to kill them. But worth a try. No resources wasted and all that.
Sure. I guess I would need a rest spell for that if you want me to do it with spells or just
I know you figure out how you do it best. You're the master druid here. I'm just
you
Just-
gave me the order. Sure, I can. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it.
see if you can solve this problem.
Sure. Well, I have spells after the rest. Yeah. That's gonna take a 4-hour rest and pick some spells like animal friendship and speak with animals, and then just go to area. I guess he first will cast animal friendship.
Good.
Of
Yeah,
course, he
it
has to see inside the house.
You pry open a door or like a hatch or something.
How many things there are in the building? Animals?
A number?
Yeah, a number.
I mean, the exact number's not known. At least like 4 or 5 have been seen.
Sure. So I will cast it in 3rd level to have animal friendship on the bear, one of the wolves, and who looks like the alpha wolf and the tiger.
Okay.
We'll have a council of animals. Gather together, everyone.
I guess like after that. Let me just quickly check that. Yeah, it's not a concentration, so he will cast speak with animals.
Okay.
I guess he then approaches the animals, and ask how they're doing inside the building. Do they want to get out?
As they'd like. So how is that approaching? Is that just like calling through the doors? Is he like they're trying to step inside?
I mean, first he looks inside, makes the animal friendship thing, and then peeks through the door first, and then maybe ask also, can I come in? That you don't eat me. Because I can have a lucrative deals for my leech for you. Gives you food.
You're gonna poke your head around and start speaking, trying to convince them.
On your own animal handling.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Staring at something.
25.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that takes an interesting approach, to be sure.
Normal for him.
Well,
Get into other people's problems. This time for the wolves, bears, and tigers.
the wolf pack leader definitely seems to be the first one to really respond to you. And you are able to seemingly get the pack leader, and as a result, the rest of the pack to slowly edge them towards you and have them not kill you.
And
And the wolves don't look in too bad of a shape. They don't look too feral or anything. They could probably be used by the guards, if nothing else.
I mean, if they want a steady home, food, company.
Seems like they're willing to follow whatever you tell them to do.
I'm good. I am glad to aid them.
So if you wish to offer them shelter with the guards, they will take it.
Oh yeah, I know. Most certainly.
We need to have a royal like a hound master or something to handle like all the war animals.
The bear, meanwhile, seems a bit more. The bear's looking rather skittish right now. Meanwhile, the wild cat, which to you, looks like a snow leopard. Kind of staring at you. Doesn't look aggressive though, just kind of staring at you.
I mean, he tells to them like if they want to just leave for the city, he can escort them out.
If you,
Non-hostile way, you know.
the snow leopard will certainly take a out if you'll offer it a way to just escape.
Yeah, sure, he will escort out.
Very well, the snow leopard will flee into the woodlands
Bye bye.
without mauling any citizens on the way.
It's fine. Seth gives like a healing word for the snow leopard before it goes, and then let it go.
Now, it does appear that your magic did not have the effect you wanted necessarily, though, on the bear.
No, grumpy bear, I see.
As you try and diplomatize with the bear, it does not appear to be charmed. No, it appears more like it wants to maul your face in.
I mean, do you really want to move my ways?
It seems like it does.
Bad bear, down.
I mean, then I will cast like Flaming Blade on attack it if it doesn't go. Like I can kill it. I have no qualms of killing it. I can
Well?
also just, heal it and aid it, but
It seems rather. You don't know if a hunger's done it or what, but it seems a little bit feral.
I mean, I can throw him some like pieces of meat before I talk to him.
Well, it's a bit late. It's already trying to claw your face in.
God damn it!
So you have chosen death.
You may make an attack. It will also make an attack. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Can I make it with my Flaming Blade?
You can attack however you want to attack.
Oh god, that is a poor attack. One hit. Oh, I did take a rest. Okay, since spells too.
As it strikes a claw into you.
Son of a fucking bitch.
As it turns out, this thing is apparently, turns out wrestling a bear, rather dangerous. Who knew?
Who knew?
Unfortunately, the bear does not appear like it wants to listen to reason.
I mean, I have another way of dealing this goddamn bear.
It's currently attacking you, but if you have a plan B outside of killing it, you can try issuing it, or you can just kill it. Regardless, it has to be something you could do rather quickly, given it's trying to kill you.
Yeah. Can I, get rid of its space? And Seth will cast conjure animals and conjure 2 bears to his side to goddamn kill this fucking bear. And takes the back line there.
So your response to the bear is 2 more bears.
Yes. Kill it. Kill it with bear.
Right, 1 second.
What's the CR of the bear? I guess I have to pick a bear. Oh, it's CR1, so yeah, then it works. 2. It's rough.
Just checking what happens. Okay.
What's the situation?
Congratulations, that your bears win.
Great.
Though in fairness, it was 2-on-1.
I mean, if they go down, I can just cast 2 more.
That's a fair argument. But the important part is your bears win. With you only sustain, like you said, you will sustain another wound basically, but it's not going to be enough to actually matter to Zed. He can just heal up.
Yeah.
Does take a little bit though. There's a long period of just bears wrestling along the ground, and a lot of roaring and a lot of panicked people outside. But eventually, the bear is dead.
Do not be done with bear. I shall cook it and repair it.
And so ends tonight's so tonight's dinner.
Yeah, he reports situation. Wolves are friendly. They are not with the guards. The tiger is outside, and the bear is food. Little bit of everything.
Oh, Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Amnas did like the bear though, but what is he gonna do?
Well, you got at least got 3 wolves out of it in total.
3 wolves is fine.
I can get you a bear another time if you really want to pay.
Well, maybe I want to.
Yeah, I will inform you the bear natural 20 did save against the charm.
Um,
It was rather stubborn.
I'll chalk this up as a win, and
You better be.
we'll bury the bear with full honors. And he fought bravely, I suppose. And we'll carry on. The animals, use them for training with the guards and whatnot, like guard dogs or something similar. The cat, I don't know.
It got away,
Yeah. But
Hopefully it'll stay away.
yeah, but maybe the wolves can balls to the guard militia.
I mean, hunting dogs and nothing else, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So dangerous hunting dogs, but still.
It could be worse. Out of curiosity, it said, and paranoid, I guess, said will check that they are not like diseased and make them like cured and anything like that.
They're injured, they're not diseased.
Yeah, he cures them and heals them and beats them and all that kind of stuff.
Finally, I am going to cover what happened with Lady Eliza during all this. As you're aware, there had been protests going on from the local nobles who were not paying you enough money because they were rather unhappy about Dame Rochelle's promotion. Well, Lady Eliza saw fit to try and quell these nobles / teach them their place.
Yes.
Though Eliza's direct reports don't entirely explain everything, from what you understand reading the reports, Lady Eliza, effectively speaking, systematically challenged the heads of most of the minor noble houses in her land to a duel.
Good answer. Good answer.
And
Set approves.
unsurprisingly for Lady Eliza, she basically was victorious in all of them.
Eat.
Turns out your countess is rather dangerous.
Yeah.
Humiliating the aristocracy, it appears that they will go back to paying their normal tithes.
Cutting out.
It did, however, cost a minor expense from the vault to heal them all up, but problem's been fixed. The nobles are obedient again, so that's the important part.
Yay,
In addition, Lady Eliza gained some additional experience towards leveling up.
we get
Cutting out still, I'm afraid.
we get more income too, right? Because
I've already raised the income back up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The income was at +2 originally, but Lady Eliza put it back up to +4. And I've already raised the income also for the new week as well. In addition, it appears Lady Eliza also won a prize out of her endeavours.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
As it appears, part of humiliating the other noble houses, she also claimed for herself a magical longbow.
Oh, that's good.
Because, Lady Eliza needed a magical weapon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She wasn't dangerous enough already.
No. I approve.
You understand it's only a basic magic longbow, but still. Magic. So that concludes the current council events that were scheduled.
All right.
However, it's time for a council meeting then.
Hooray.
I will put the calendar forwards.
In the interim, Lady Mazar would have received the report about Theo's exercise, so she knows what happened.
Question is, does she believe it?
Why wouldn't she believe it?
She's naturally suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she could just ask me, I guess. I'd say yes.
That's the thing, though. Does she believe you? That's my meaning. Like, you know.
I mean, why would I lie? That's the question.
We will take a brief break for a second. While I'm going to go refill my drink. You guys can do the same.
I'll do the same.
Let's do it.
Hello, Halldamir. Is that someone returning?
Bounty poster. What?
I like that bounty poster.
Yeah, I like the side eye. It's like, What's people drinking? What's in your glasses tonight?
Water.
Water.
God.
Raspberry
And,
squash.
There we go.
I don't drink earlier, but
Finally, someone is living.
Mm-hmm.
The raspberry squash.
Which I've used this exact raspberry squash before when DMing in person, because put it into a glass, it looks like wine.
Mm. You should get one of those D&D themed goblets. They're pretty great. There's like an official D&D goblet. Has like a dragon and stuff on it.
I actually had I borrowed some of those, some ones similar to that when I did some gaming in person at a gaming shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I could serve each of the players what looked like a goblet of wine.
That's great.
Again, it was just squash because we had some underage players there.
Yeah, of course. I have a goblet shape of like a dragon, and its wings like unfurls around the glass itself. I have that, but it's a pain to clean out because of the dragon decorations and stuff, so I don't use it much. But I have used it in the past. It's pretty awesome. Also had also simulated a pipe using using like props and stuff. Get into the spirit of a criminal investigator, you know, Sherlock Holmes style. So pretty good. I like props.
One thing I also did when I was at least doing DMing in person, I would do this as a player if I was playing like an alchemist or something.
Yeah.
I used to make up small little vials of liquid.
That's great.
Potions.
Hmm?
Usually I just mix together like some kind of drink and put some food coloring in there.
Yep.
But it works.
That's great. Like, yeah, you have like a healing potion, and then you can give out. I would love to like have little vials. You can like dish out like physical healing potions to players, and they can have a little potion belt or something on next to their character sheet.
And of course, if the character wants to drink a potion, just pick it up and
yeah, you drink a potion, exactly.
They're generally something that players get really like enthusiastic about when I pull those out. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, no, you get very excited. You're like, ooh, yes, I want a potion.
The same thing as having like a physical little chest next to me full of like plastic coins.
Yeah.
I could hand people gold coins during session.
Yeah. Stuff like that is great.
You know, these little props like that can be reused are really good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, players always get very interested because they become interested in wanting to use their potions. I found.
Yeah.
Just because they want to know what drink I put in there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some drink in there. They don't know which one it is.
Exactly, it's a mystery. I have red potion, right, for healing potion, and then blue for mana, I suppose, if there is a mana potion.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're just really weird ones. There, it's like I have no idea what this would taste like. What is a green potion? Anyone know? No one can succeed the Arcana check.
Green potion, I think, is like regeneration or poison, I suppose.
Now the question is which one? They won't find out until they drink it.
The poison one, you have like spiked it with lots of like Tabasco or something. Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
I'd probably just make it really, really sour.
Oh yeah, sure. Like lots of lemon juice or something in there.
Okay, it's like jelly bean roulette, except it's now with like potion drinks.
Pretty much, yeah. Where do I buy small vials and corks? I need to investigate.
At the internet.
Probably the internet. Yeah.
At the time, I had really easy access because the gaming shop which I worked in also doubled up as a LARP shop.
Yeah, sure. That'll do it.
So because the person who owned the place every 2 weeks held a LARP session in the nearby forest.
Of course they did. LARPing there's a fairly large LARPing community in Sweden because we have so many forests, right? So there's a lot of space to LARP.
In fact, I absolutely that shopkeeper was amazing. Also, it was just so cool walking to her place, and she had all of her LARP weapons on the wall behind her.
Yeah.
So we had like all the D&D game books on one side, and then various like board games and stuff like that. Everything from like Arkham Horror and all the Warhammer stuff. So the back room was just full of nothing but like Warhammer stuff.
What's the name of the shop?
I can't remember now. It's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Last time I was there, I was 17, so it's been a while.
Yeah, we have 2 large shops in Stockholm City. The one is called the Science Fiction Bookstore, just straight up that, and the other one is called Dragon's Lair. And Dragon's Lair also allows you to like play Warhammer and Magic the Gathering and stuff like that in the basement. You have like lots of gaming tables and stuff down there, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was a similar place. I used to go there like every weekend before I went to uni, and then at some point while I was at uni, they closed down.
Yeah,
they didn't get enough business.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we have a Games Workshop store as well if you really want to play like Warhammer stuff. But the problem with Games Workshop stores is they're too clingy. Like I walk in and someone sidles up way too close and looks me in the eye and it's like, "Hi, what are you buying today?" And I'm like, I'm just looking." And he's like, "Oh, I see. What are you looking for?" Like he doesn't leave me alone, you know. He just stands there glaring at me.
Yeah, I would not. I would just walk out.
Yep.
This shop was great though, because yeah, I just walked inside. She was just sitting behind the counter, possibly painting a miniature, sometimes just on the computer.
Yep.
She was happy to answer questions and talk to you about stuff. And yeah, we had like 3 tables going back, and then the back room itself for Warhammer like only.
Mm-hmm.
And what was really like I remember one gaming session that went quite late. And we had parallel tables going where we had multiple DMs all running the same adventure on multiple tables. I was one of them.
Sure.
My table finished up first, so I ended up going up buying fish and chips from the shop next door and bringing it in for the other DMs.
Yeah, popular move.
Because, yeah, you know what? It's actually really late. Those tables still have lots of time left to go on them, so I'll buy dinner. Because
Nice.
the other tables were caught up in a combat, and the players had been taking quite a while with it because they were doing quite badly.
Right.
It happens though; it's fine. Like my table just speeded through things.
Because you killed them, surely.
In fairness, 2 of them did die.
There we go. Yeah.
Ah.
And it's also the Pathfinder Society module, so it shouldn't have been that lethal, but it was.
Yeah, well, you know.
In fact, there's lots of bad rolls if I remember, though. It's been a while.
Some of that Pathfinder stuff is piss easy, and some of it is just murderous. I mean, Iron Gods, that like 4-arm juju zombie thing. Good lord.
In fairness, one of the players had a pretty bad build on their character. No offense. Anyway, I think that's a good enough quick break.
Yep.
We'll return to the action. So, after the 2 weeks of everyone completing their various duties, a council meeting is again called, as it always is, on the first Sunday of the month. Which of the PCs is going to be first to arrive, out of curiosity?
Seth will arrive first in his fancy noble clothing to show it off.
Oh my.
Just to be in there. Annoyance.
That's fine. Okay.
He puts his hair like in a ponytail in the back. Fits better for the style, I think.
That's absolutely fine. Okay. I tried to preload the map, so everyone should load up quickly.
Right into it. For me, at least.
Power of preload.
Certainly. Don't seem to be able to move my tokens for some reason.
Time is paused, that's why.
Oh yeah.
You are in stasis.
Unfortunately, your DM has learnt the time stop spell, so...
Yeah. For unlimited turns.
Hack like I'll.
No, I just have a limited supply of Nightfall Wizard casting them.
Ah.
Very well. Zed will be the... I will move Zed. I suppose this would be interesting then. Amnos is supposed to be the last to arrive, right? That's the king.
Yeah.
Yep.
In which case... The other members of the court, of course, can arrive on their regular schedule.
Right.
Ceres and Vickers, perhaps having chatted in the hallway a little bit on the way up.
That'd be nice.
You haven't seen each other in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. We're besties.
Once.
You've at least put up with each other for like the last 10 years.
Well, you know. We enjoy each other's company.
So as you make your way to the council room, is it the other CZ wearing? How does the appearance look now, comparatively?
And we have a picture posted of Zed's garments, right? Roughly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you posted it again. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. All right, so we've just opened the door and we see what's before us. That's the setup here.
Yeah, that's what you see.
Sarah,
I guess I should describe for the viewers. It's
Yes,
a
you should describe to
Yeah.
the viewers exactly what it looks like.
very neat with turquoise like cloak, white turquoise and white and turquoise cloak with different kind of hair ribbon of leaves and that kind of a clean figure of like white pants and high boots and a male corset almost. Very open at the top, very loose and flowy. A bit of
Yes.
like a ruffled shoulders and then going like a tight gloss, or like fingers gloss.
Very, very flowing fabrics overall, though, everywhere.
Yeah. And like a golden symbol where the cloak is like hanged on his.
It's certainly like the bare shoulders and corset look is certainly a statement.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned look.
It's
No, it's a recent fashion, but
Zed wants to be pretty. That's nothing wrong with that.
of course,
From what some of you understand, that Lady Serena Dobrosi, the harpy of the court, has been busy at work getting an outfit prepared.
Oh, no doubt.
well, upon seeing this sight, probably low enough for only Ceres to hear. She'll hear Vicus let out a low whistle. Maybe appreciation, maybe surprise, maybe with both. And he'll just step in and say nothing else. His luck would linger at Zed. Maybe he's jealous a little bit. But why am I going this way? Wait, hold on. Sorry, this way.
he's so distracted he goes the wrong way.
Yeah, he's so disoriented. He goes, no.
Just give you a smile and a nod.
No.
Say for the Ceres.
I think Ceres is just quiet, appreciating the effort from Zed for once.
No.
He actually looks like he belongs in a noble court now.
Now Vicus is the one that sticks out the most.
I guess Zed will clean down because I know a very good tailor if you need one. Ceres recommended me one.
Yes, perhaps I'll take up that offer.
I mean, we are going to need to go a ball.
Oh, don't remind me.
I mean, I will remind you. This is my reminder for you.
He just kind of runs a hand across his face.
But I have to say, I really like the corset. It's really fitting for me.
He keeps his slender figure.
Yeah, Elven and slender figure. Of course. Fits for me.
Exactly. Like he with this corset, he can fit back into those jeans he wore in high school.
600 years.
Yeah, 600 years ago. Yep. These bark pants I wore.
I wore these jeans when I took my wife for the first date.
Oh dear. They haven't been washed since.
No.
Yeah, learning all these mysterious depths to Zed's character, but that's the benefit of being 500 years old. You'll be like, oh yes, I remember. I remember when Martin Luther, nailed those things on the wall there. I was there actually, so yeah. Nope.
He cannot remember everything.
Unless you're, of course, as you know, I imagine fashionably late for the meeting as usual, coming in last.
Yes, indeed.
You and your squire will make your way up the stairwell.
Yep. Yeah.
The
Stomping.
guards nodding to you as you approach.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with their maces and their little lamps. Yeah, we'll sweep in. Up here, Amanas will take circuitous around. Around here, just nodding to everyone as he enters. Eyes lingering at Zed, I suppose. Being like, what on earth has happened here? And then he'll move around. And I forget how exactly I unlocked myself again.
Shift.
With Archland standing back here, ready to, observe and serve wine and whatnot.
Yes. The great role of cupbearer.
Yep. Very important. Very important. He'll sweep down, toss the cape to the side in that elegant fluid motion he does, and then he will put one hand on the pommel of his sword and motion with the other gauntlet that the proceedings can begin.
Ryden looks over his clipboard. Calling to session the third council meeting. It is the 2nd of flock time, 11:55. All members in attendance. Council to be led by Lord Amanus Zeal. Taking notes, Lord Ryden, Raymatar. And floor begins to discuss the work over the previous week. Obviously, out of character, we've already done that.
Yep.
But the council would go through starting to share reports now of everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So, of course, everyone would find out about, how Ceres' diplomacy is going, how the work in the north is going, about the bears, the wolves, and the snow leopard. So on and so forth. And also including about hearing Lady Eliza apparently dueling half the local nobles into submission.
That gives that a nod. Dueling is a fine tradition.
Yeah.
He enjoys dueling.
Have we got the first date with his wife?
No. That was a second date.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You briefly see questions on Lady Eliza's face on the topic of Zed's wife, like, oh?
Yes.
I was a married man.
You said was.
I mean, yes. My wife died rescuing the king.
She bows her head slightly for a moment. You
No,
have my
it's-
condolences.
Thank you. But we had a happy 400 years of life, so
Just taking it in stride, and now he's all gussied up for the balls. I mean, said this.
Can I ask how nonchalant are you as
Yes.
Zed is saying this?
Like, oh, picking.
I mean, he's not nonchalant. He really likes his wife, but he knows that his wife is dead, and he's past beyond that because his beliefs and kind of that stuff.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, see, that's the benefit of being this like druidic type. Like it's part of the the great circle, and everything is being reborn and blah blah blah. Like all of this hippie stuff is like very comforting.
Yeah, and when he dies, he's gonna see his wife again.
Yeah.
Resurrected.
We have the scroll. I mean, maybe we can find her body.
No, I don't want to go.
Oh, no.
You, Amanas, my dear king, you cannot roll me with that meeting thing that you recommended me earlier. If you were to resurrect my wife, I would kill you.
That's fair.
I have something against undeads, and I think
Mhm.
my wife would be undead at this point. It has been 10 years.
Anyway.
No, with enough power, anything is possible. My advisors tell me.
I do know that, but I do follow the normal recycle of life and dead.
No, I mean, Amanas accepts that it is Zed's faith to let the dead rest, and he appreciates that. He'll respect that and not try to resurrect his wife without his saying so.
That also goes for my son. Thank you.
I didn't even know you had a son.
I had a son. So I expect him to be also dead. I don't know exactly.
Maybe that can be figure out some divination magic, like legend lore or something. Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, we'll look into that once we have the power of the Archmage's tower.
I mean,
We can create like the Eye of Sauron to just look around.
I don't know if I want to find him if he's dead. Because I think he's dead. If he's not dead, I don't know how he hasn't been in contact with me for like hundreds of years maybe, or tens of years. I was pretty good father. I
I didn't say anything. I
had this feeling of scowl of.
I didn't say anything. You as I said, you're dressed up for the ball, and I appreciate that. And yeah, you were a wonderful father, I'm sure.
You can add that to the record, right?
Add to the official record that Lord Zed was definitely a good father, and the only explanation that his son doesn't talk to him anymore is that he's dead.
I mean, that's how Zed expects to be.
Everything being said is being recorded.
That is good. Then you can later see how fool I am and how old I am.
Lord, what a great start.
That's right. Busy trying to transcribe all this.
No, Amanas will have a talk with him later and remove the first page from it.
Strike it from the record.
Yeah. The record is not to pay any attention to the ramblings of.
Ramblings through old man.
Yeah, I was a good father.
So anyway, back to real matters.
The court looks very distracted from trying to get it back in order. As Lady Mazara looks across the table. Now, I do want to remind the court of something, which is still on our that should still be on our agenda, I hope. To my understanding, the lands to our western side do have the Silver Moon Ball upcoming still. I hope no one has forgotten that this is something we should try to get ourselves an invitation to.
Did I not?
Given the political providence of it in the region.
It's a ball in the
ball
Duchy of Silver Isles, which is where we need to also do Lady Mazara's mission. So we were planning on doing both at once.
I
Yeah.
think that was going to be my next council job.
Yeah.
It takes 2 turns.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. That sounds good. I mean, Zed is already dressed for success, so that seems fine.
Well, we need to get an invitation first. That's going to be the next 2 weeks. And then we get the mission.
I mean, if not, I'm dressed for coronation.
Good lord, 2 weeks to get an invitation. How exclusive is this place?
Well, mostly the issue will be traveling.
I mean,
Rumble.
I can just summon a couple of eagles and pick a flight.
That's arriving in style.
Of course, they can carry maybe a few people.
Yeah, it's true. And we would like to arrive with some entourage. Alright, fine. Yep, that sounds good.
It would also be customary, of course, to bring a gift within the ball.
But... what about that snow leopard?
Gone.
Damn it.
I have one of that makes music.
Perfect. There we go.
Well, we need that for our own coronation. We can't give it to them.
I mean, we can give them and then you can steal them back. I'm not sort of diplomatic things.
No.
There's a reason for it.
It's like with Fallout, like Fallout 2 bargaining here. You pay all the money and then you steal it back immediately.
I mean, if nothing, I
Anyway,
can go make some other.
I mean, that wand is probably a pretty good gift, honestly.
what would you suggest as a gift, Lazar?
Sadly, that knowledge is. Well, I'm not the best in the noble customs for over there, but my understanding, at least, is the Duchess is already rather wealthy, so pure shows of wealth won't necessarily be appreciated.
No, something interesting.
Indeed. Because I do think it would be our best interest to get Duchess Desia on our side.
Well, maybe the Duchess has a recently deceased member that he wants to return back.
Well, I for one agree because we also have other business there, and he kind of gives a bit of a pointed look towards Lady Mazar.
That's certainly a thing that I want to do.
Liza speaks up next. I've also had some distress from some of the local townsfolk. After the pyromancer incident, and with the damage already done to my stronghold from the siege, we have had a decently large number of fires over the last several months. Obviously, that's not great for people.
Then you would need someone to look into that and figure out who, what, when, how, I would assume.
Well, I would really like to try and allocate just. I feel like having a more dedicated, building a new dedicated kind of fire protection squad or something similar would be useful for the town. Hire together some volunteers, get them equipment, get us spare supplies for rebuilding places.
I don't see that idea.
Ryden speaks up. Only problem is, anything like that's expensive. But we can't put a price on the people's lives. No, but we still have a coffer. I'm going to head and just reveal something for you all.
Yep. Okay. You don't have to decide this right now, so we could probably work towards pursuing the other available avenues if we can.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly want to get Charlotte up to all three sooner. But
Yeah.
the ball is more important, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. How long do we have before the coronation?
Well,
At this
it
point?
is. You had, let's see. So you 1, 2, 3. Technically 4 meetings.
So 4
turns.
4 turns. And Servant is 2, Lumber's 2, so we'd be running up on that quick. Probably have things you want to do. Interesting.
Still, something to consider.
Yeah.
Oh, did that not move? It's supposed to have moved up into the Use category. There you go. As Radiant also looks around, something else is with some of the additional assets we've put together. We are able to expand the council potentially.
Oh,
As, of course, out of character is a reminder that you currently have one free council slot for recruiting. If you so see fit.
then we need someone to fill that spot. We're looking at potentially either Sir Bolton or Gillian, right?
Yeah.
Because we currently do not have like a military person
No,
that might be useful.
we should. Hmm.
And you turn it down Montgomery Phillips Barnsworth.
Right.
Some people in the council seem to appreciate it.
We have their stats listed somewhere. I can't see the
For the recruits,
yeah.
if you go into the journal section, and under the recruitment tab, you can see all your current councillors you can recruit are in there. And it will tell you their council stats in there as well when you click on them.
Sir Bolton is 1 diplomacy,
retired
2
defender.
warfare.
You can bring up these two.
Yep.
Warfare, faith. I mean, I feel Sir Bolton is probably more amiable to us and our goals. But he's also like his home is here, right? And once our concerns move from beyond Freyfrost and to other things, I don't know if he will be as interested in doing that. I mean, he's old and, as I said, retired, right? Maybe he just wants to stay at home and, like, you know, have smoke a pipe or something. So for the like younger, more like hungry and with more potential people, Gillian would be the choice. He has more potential to grow, but he's also more hostile to us.
That's true.
But
So there's that decision to be made, and also potentially, well, we have a lot more
Of course,
retainers.
there are alternate people that can be brought in.
Yeah.
There is,
Like, for example,
there is, of course, the upstart baronet.
yeah, I was just about to mention. We do need someone who's better at stewardship to get more money in. So
Technically, Seth is available to be like a logistical general with his skills. So,
yeah,
and
In addition, you're actually going to have another slot open up once the once you finish your once you finish the construction up in of annexing Sorkai.
Alright.
You actually have 2 slots open then. So
all right. So this be the part where we decide what to do, or is there something else to talk about first?
nothing else immediately has happened.
Okay.
So you can begin deciding your actions.
Yes.
Take you back here for the second.
So I guess the first question is, who is currently still indisposed?
The one still indisposed had a little. Oh, I should get rid of legalizers, but I have the marker below them if they're indisposed.
so Aman's Lady Mikara and Lord Raiden, I think, is imposed,
And Ceres is indisposed.
and Ceres.
Okay.
I am either thinking or said doing one of the research, specifically maybe the black stone or the alchemical farming, or either going with the repeatable study claims and make actually claims for us in like area,
Right.
or use that to repair for like ball. I get history on that. Those are like my ideas for set at the moment. Any like opinions one way or another?
I suppose the question would be, if you're gonna study claims, what do you have anything particular in mind, or you're just
I mean,
to
either
see
we
what
can
comes up?
take one of these local northern areas, so the Duke or the Silver Isles
Yeah.
would be like the ones I would think. Like I can go for the alchemical farming. It is gonna take long, but later on give us money. But it's gonna also cost us money.
Yeah.
Or the Blackstone has come up, so maybe you wanna figure that out. It's something that I can quickly do.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they all seem like good ideas. So it's whatever you personally, I think.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking opinions.
I mean, as you said, the Black Sending Stone just came up, so maybe it might be useful to research it now. It's a good question.
I think it would be good to look at if it wasn't, because if I didn't have so many pressing missions to do, I would do it myself.
I mean, this is a
Yeah.
very busy time for a diplomat.
Yeah. Diplomats
Do
are
the research
very
for you
busy
then.
all the time because they're awesome. So
Yeah, I can go for the Black Sending Stone. Then. Yeah, okay. I will take the Black Sending Stone then.
All right. So you're going to be doing time to do research.
my question also concerns the research. I would like to gosh, what was the name? Was it the Radiant Mother or Reverend Mother? I cannot remember her
Dear
title.
mother.
Revere, there we go. Vickers would like to set up a meeting with her to discuss the pocket watch and see if she has some insights into that. I don't know if that takes like turn time. See that like we can't research it yet because there's something that needs to be done, and I assume maybe talking to her might be one of those things.
That is something potentially you could call to do if you want to.
Yeah.
Speak with her.
I think he would like to do that.
All right. As we'll quickly pan the scene then, Vix wants to try and get more information.
Yes.
Within Castle Freyfrost, built onto one of the outer walls, is this large, pristine chapel. It's kind of in the corner of the lot, or within the grounds. Outside of it sits several statues. One of which of a man very solemn, head bowed. Another of a man on a horse with a scythe on his back. They're not the friendliest of markers, though in fairness, the aspect of the revered mother is that of the rider, the aspect of death and departure. That is her domain. The inside of the chapel is quiet and solemn. Several rows of pews with a few people praying, a large stained glass window with the iconic cross, and a few white-robed priests up there, currently talking with people, and one of them currently offering a baptism.
See.
Does Vickers head into like the chapel very often? Is he a particularly religious person?
No, he's far from a religious person. He's quite pragmatic in the sense that he understands how religion can help, but he himself does not. It doesn't do anything for him. So while you know, he respects their traditions and he doesn't, outrightly speak out against them, but he doesn't practice them himself. So no, he wouldn't. It would be an unusual thing to find him here, which is probably an interesting enough reason for someone to talk to him.
Initially, no one approaches you, but you are free to step inside of the old building.
He will.
Walk me through what Vickers would do.
Well, he would ask. Well, the nearest person that seems to be of reputable charge, and ask for a meeting. The revered mother. But well, he won't like tell them exactly what's going on, but he will say there's an item of import that requires some religious expertise.
Item of import. The priest looks at you with a curious expression.
Well, he sighs a little, and he's not going to take it out. But he will basically explain that this item potentially houses the soul of a young child who was killed quite painfully, and he wishes to give him rest.
The priest goes a little bit pale and looks slightly horrified by that statement. Yes, you should speak with the revered mother immediately.
He nods.
She's currently down in the. She's currently downstairs. He gestures to a stairwell.
Thank you. He will slowly make his way down. He'll be quiet. He's not going to stomp down. He wants to see what's going on and what she's doing, if anything. He does not want to barge in and announce his presence loudly.
You make your way down the stairwell towards the basement area. It doesn't feel like a place that you think most people ever go to. Doesn't feel like it as you get down there, and the air generally gets kind of colder as you go down. And there's this smell in the air that it lingers. It's faint. And it's masked. It's a slightly foul smell that's just masked by the smell of like fresh herbs. Many fresh herbs, strong smelling stuff like lavender, stuff like that. All covering up something. So it's quite quickly what as you reach the bottom and you see yourself in what appears to be a crypt is not quite the right word, but kind of a crypt. Almost a morgue, I suppose.
Okay.
The chapel's basement seemingly housing a room for preparing the dead in it. As you can see, several coffins lying around. And as you slowly walk up, something Vickers can very easily do,
Yep.
you see the old revered mother standing without her cane off on the side, currently tending to a body wrapped in fine linens. The person's most certainly dead.
Yes. Well, Vickers will cough slightly and say, if I could interrupt you for a moment.
Not a place I take it you come very often?
No, in fact, quite unusual for me, but I assure you, there is very good reason.
No. You're often the one sending people here instead. No offense.
Yeah, he smiles. It's a bit tight, given the nature about what he's about to discuss. And without much ado, because she's a busy woman, of course, he will take out the watch and will begin to explain to her what it is and what it holds.
Vickers doesn't need to get through half of it before her eyes start going wide and you can see her scrutinizing it.
Yeah.
That foul magic is within that item, you understand.
I could ascertain as that much, yes, but I do wish to help if I can.
Hmm. Dark magic like this lingers strongly. Traumatic events plus powerful magic generally generates problematic situations. Frequently ghosts, wraiths. She looks to you as if questioning if you've seen those.
He nods. There were certainly raids, yes, accompanying the poor child.
A young soul like this, though, creates an even more problematic situation. A wraith rises from negative emotions, fear, anger, hatred. Such emotions, while certainly can be experienced by a minor, generally aren't. They'll very rarely consume them in the same way it could consume your eye. No offense to the young'uns, but they aren't that good at holding a grudge for long. They tend to get over stuff. Especially at that age. But this leaves the situation that they never rise as malicious undead in quite the same way. Instead, though, what they do become tends to be something far more twisted. Pure hatred is easy to deal with. Do you know if anyone has used this item?
He scratches his beard and says, "Well, given the circumstances of where it was found, it is possible that it had been by one of the soldiers and had driven him, well, to madness."
I take it he's dead.
He nods.
She lets out a loud sigh as she leans against the preparation table.
I'm not well versed the religious studies, but I assume that this will not be a very easy task.
No, it would not. But thankfully, this is within my particular domain. Helping the dead truly lay to rest.
You would also have my support too, if for whatever reason you would need it.
I can attempt to exercise the spirit, though I need to prepare for it. Though with all exorcisms, the poor soul will not enjoy it.
But
as is the nature.
But presumably, after which they would find some medium of rest.
Their soul will pass from this plane. If there's enough of it left, it will head on into the Sea of Souls to be judged. If there's not enough of it left, it will at least find rest in oblivion.
Anything is better than, well, so.
Such nexism is dangerous, however. Souls will tend to lash out at the pain of being pulled out of their vessel.
I will be there to protect you. Don't worry about it.
Be ready to protect yourself as well.
He smiles. Of course.
I have the blessing of the divines to protect me, but I do not believe you have the same.
Quite true. I have not been bested yet. Well,
Revered Mother nods. Whenever you wish to proceed with it, I will be available. But do understand it will take some time.
he nods. I will return when I am ready. He will take his leave. And I also think that given that, that would be what Vickers would spend his time doing. Whenever she's ready, of course.
New mission is unlocked.
All right. Okay.
Not the same as researching the watch, but
No.
if you wish to exercise it, you can.
It's a worthy endeavor. If you get the angry ghost out of it, that has powerful enchantments.
Yeah, it had been Vickers' idea from the very beginning to do this, so I think that would be something he'd do.
Very well. Mission added. So we just need confirmation on everyone, on obviously Zed's, and then if you're signing anything to Lady Eliza or Zara.
Well, Lady Eliza could
Lady-
recruit, right?
She
There
can
are-
recruit
you could
Rochelle.
Yeah, that's probably fine, right?
I think that's a good.
Give us a steward.
Or Gillian. So
You can recruit a few people, so yeah.
a lot, yeah.
So do we need a military person or do we need a steward? What do we need?
Steward aids on construction, which given you're about to get Sorkai up, will be a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's I suppose get Mayor Rochelle in here. It's a goddamn family business at this point, but let's do it.
Let's have Eliza do that then.
Yeah, I mean she it might rankle some nobles, but I don't see the nobles here really offering to help.
Yeah.
And Mayor Rochelle has been one of a good ally to.
It will cost a token 10 build points, but that's not too bad.
That's fine.
10 build points, excuse me? What?
Mm-hmm. 10.
Okay, sure.
As for Mizpara, we don't really have it currently, so
Means I can rush something, right?
You can't rush anything because you're currently busy.
Oh, damn it.
yeah,
I'm
you're
too busy
doing
to
something.
rush.
I promise you're not
Can
here
you
to rush anything.
Yeah.
Rush so I
Can
can
you
go
brush
up and
your own project?
yeah, can I go glare at Aunt Mikara? I don't think she'll be intimidated.
Unfortunately, I mean, you can flavor that as what you're doing for the next 2 weeks, just staring at her. But,
Why
as it-
isn't this
but
working?
the, the problem is, like, you also have your own things you need to do for the annexing, so like,
Yeah, it's
you can't
true.
rush it
Yeah.
if you're not on.
True. Also, I don't, it feels like bad to try to rush the intricate magical designs of the city. I don't want to rush that
Yeah.
necessarily.
You don't have to take a penalty on that roll.
As a question, can council members help other council members do stuff?
They can, technically.
Because I'm trying to find something for Mazar to do.
Obviously,
But-
you don't need more people assassinated at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, can she come with me and help me out?
Potentially.
Or if there's any other like, how would I say? Like maybe Sarah's needs a bodyguard. I don't know.
Gonna do the exercise, like exhuming the ghost. I mean, would probably be helpful because she has magic.
Yeah,
And magical swords, lots of magical swords.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what also I'm thinking. So perhaps that then, if she's fine with that.
Very well. Which comes up with what is Zed going to do? Just locking it in.
The black sending stone.
What's that?
Sending stone. The black one.
Black sending stone. Sending stone didn't have a cost on it? Nope. No. That's quite easily sets up the quite easily sets up all of this.
Woohoo!
Very well. Said, Lady Charlotte will request to join you for that research.
Sure.
Unless Sarah's vetoes her from going, but
No, domination.
She's
very well.
taking initiative.
Oh my goodness, they grow up so fast.
If Lady Charlotte wants to speak with the Eleven, they can communicate with Ellen too. Chat remembers she liked the Eleven. But this time Chat will be in casual clothing. Casual research groups.
Fair enough, not going around the lab in your fine attire.
No.
I presume Serena Dabrosi, she's not currently doing anything right now, so she can't join Ceres because Ceres is already out in the field, technically.
Oh yeah.
I mean, does anyone want the gunner or want the or the harpy?
I don't think having Persephone in the crypt of the chapel.
Oh, good news, Reverend Mother. The ghost is dead, but bad news.
Your reliquary has been absolutely
Yeah,
decimated.
it's absolutely vaporized. There is nothing left. It's just ash and ruin, really.
Probably nothing important that can help with.
Yeah, no. I mean, given the display of Zed at the council, Serena would get a letter from Vicus.
I presume independently of you want to schedule a fashion meeting.
Yes. However, Vicus's letter is very it's like someone writing a letter about a subject that they literally do not understand. So it's very like beating around the bush, but basically he's asking her like, make me look good, please.
In fairness, she managed to make the druid look good. She can make you look good.
Yeah.
Knock me out and turn me into a pretty man.
I mean,
Oh.
a decent part of it will end up being Vickers will end up being invited for an interview for different, so she can really get a good understanding of how Vickers ticks and what he thinks. You know,
Yes.
If she can handle it, yeah, sure.
Wow.
look, you need not only an outfit that looks beautiful, you need an outfit that makes you feel beautiful.
That's right.
Fair enough.
Right.
It needs to be something that you're going to be comfortable wearing. You can wear confidently.
Oh yes, practicality is a must.
Well, you might have to assassinate someone, right? So you need to move
Exactly.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many hidden pockets.
As a reminder for like how Serina's mindset is, very much her mindset is on the side of like it's all well and good to wear flashy clothing, but if you're wearing nothing but if you're wearing just the flashiest clothing you could find, that's not fashion. You're just showing off your wealth by being a walking vault.
Yeah. It's very vulgar, right? It's
The clothing needs to speak of you. It needs to tell a message to everyone of what you want everyone to know.
Yep.
And Lady Serena will help you do that. She'll help craft an outfit for you, which will be elegant, that will really help highlight Vickers' best features, and, if required, also be flexible enough to assassinate.
Wonderful. That's exactly what he needs.
It will have a bit of a price to it, but that's fine. She can discuss that with you.
Of course. He has money.
But don't worry, she has a team of personal tailors she can help you with.
Oh, great.
Honestly, her quarters in the keep is just like she basically has an entire bedroom, which is basically been converted into a walk-in closet for her actual bedroom.
Wow. That's something.
Admittedly, though, not all of them are outfits for her. A lot of them are outfits that she's designed and then had produced and then needs to store.
Oh, okay.
well, she at least seems very confident in her creation, so that's good.
It's her thing. Not maybe useful from an adventuring point of view, but wonderfully useful from a just from a stylist point of view.
Wow.
She's still hoping at some point she's going to get an invitation from the king to dress her up. Dress him up.
No.
At some point you'll need fine attire. At some point.
She's just biding her time.
She's not going to come to you about it. She knows when you see everyone else's fine outfits. At some point you'll come yourself.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Yeah, that's why the king's gonna get better armor.
Exactly.
The problem is armor is not always welcome. You say it may offend some nobles to walk into their house in armor.
I mean, kings would make it.
That's right. What does the king care?
Yes, but if it's a foreign diplomat who you don't rule over, maybe you shouldn't do that. It's rather uncouth to walk into someone's party just in full plate.
I suppose maybe. I mean, if I make the full plate completely, I mean, if I have like a mithril chainmail, surely I can wear that underneath clothing without any trouble, right?
Maybe.
Mm,
Mithril chain's at least easier to blend into a fancy outfit.
It's very pretty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the idea of not being armored. We'll see.
I mean, you could get like a shape-chasing armor or something that makes it look. I don't know.
Great, you'll need the armor 3.5. It's like swift action to summon the armor.
Yeah. I
Very well.
have a firstborn is like an alchemist, and so on.
Persephone.
Yep.
Yeah, she's an alchemist. Her specialty is in the field of gunpowder, but she's an alchemist.
Yeah. So could she like help on the fire of flame or something? Make some kind of alchemical thing that is against fire.
She's definitely better at starting fires than stopping fires, to be honest.
Yeah, but she knows how to start it, so she has to know how to stop it too.
Not necessarily, but fire is already a one-way process.
No, it's not.
But you can't unburn something. So...
I mean,
well, actually, you
Not
could,
mending-
as she argues, but that's a different point.
with enough of mending spell, you can.
That's not unburning. That's transmuting. It's potentially something she might be able to do.
I mean, that's my recommendation.
She will look into it to see if she can think of anything. But she's definitely kind of sitting there, like a little bit dumbfounded. Like, wait, you want me to stop fires?
Yes.
But usually, causing fires is my job.
Yes, but you don't want others to cause fires because you want to cause fires. But if there's nothing to burn, how are you going to cause fires?
But I wouldn't want to burn those anyway, because that's our place.
Yes, but I'm not really good at arguing at the point, but I want you to help.
Maybe
Yes, about this fire opportunity.
She will try and see if she can think of anything.
maybe you can use explosions to put out the fire somehow.
Kill the oxygen.
Yeah,
now you're talking her language.
if you blow it up hard enough, surely it will stop being on fire.
You have to make fire that kills fire.
Yeah, now that's a challenge. You burn it
And
so
that
hard.
doesn't burn anything else.
Yeah, that sounds very dangerous.
I'm going to add to Persephone's list of things cryo grenade.
Yes. There we go. Cryo grenades, exactly what we need.
She will begin her research. It's not quite what you asked for, but technically it will put out a fire.
I mean, if it gets a grenade, we can just use it as a military tool. So
I like the cryo grenade.
I said she will start her research. Oh boy. Don't worry, soon available for the nearest military supply depot to you.
I'm giving bad ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, what happened? I just came back.
They gave Persephone the bad idea of cryo grenades.
Oh,
To put
interesting.
out fires.
Oh, okay.
So instead of the fires in Frey Frost, to like see if she can help with that. So Persephone's like, I'm not very good at putting out fires. I'm better at creating them. And then the others gave her the idea of cryo grenade. So
That's such a good
explosions.
evil
That's
laugh.
not
Every guard is gonna, every sergeant at arms is gonna have like a pack of cryo grenades to put out fires. It'll be great.
And Persephone's going to love the business coming into a shop.
Oh yeah.
In fairness, you pay her a consulting fee, so she might as well do some research for you.
I mean, yeah, that's what I say.
Okay then, we will go ahead and move forward then with we'll move forward. The upcoming 2 weeks actually goes fairly fast for most of you. It's no big disaster going on.
Yay.
You've not had any annoying petitioners at court. It's relatively quiet.
What
was the calm before the storm?
The benefit of having the court very far up north. There's no filthy peasants crawling in to ask things.
I mean, there are, but most of them are being dealt with by Eliza and not worth your attention.
Fair enough.
There's always peasants. Doesn't matter where you go. There's always peasants.
True, there's always dirty peasants.
But you couldn't have a kingdom without peasants. So
it's true.
Because your kingdom is either peasants or undead. Take your pick.
Yeah, not easy.
And undead have their own problem. So
I suppose. But at least they don't talk too much.
It depends on the undead. Court of vampires, very talkative.
It's true. True. But at least the peasants are quiet.
That's why they're all getting eaten by the vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We'll head back to Sorkai to start us off then. As Aminus, things are going relatively quite fast. The construction work with Raiden is heading on quickly, and Auntie Makara seems to be getting the wards restarted. Well, with great expertise, definitely faster than any other mage could have done it. Though it does help that she seemed to already know what all the old ancient writing says.
Yep.
Yeah, it's useful. As Aminus makes his way around the frozen city, perhaps currently inspecting the now reconstructed palace that's been put back.
Yeah.
Once belonging to the Elven Prince of the city.
Yeah.
You see your new throne sitting at the end by a stained glass window.
Ooh.
Because of course you need somewhere to take court from.
I do.
Lady Eliza has her seat down in Freyfrost. Now you're going to have your own seat of power.
Very important.
It looks very fancy. The architects have come in and emblazoned the throne with the radiant cross and the cross of your family. It's all fine, lovely red carpet to match the theme of the Ashen Court.
Huh?
And you even heard that some people talking about potentially trying to put together a mural about your great fight out here.
Ooh, like that.
Though clearly speaking, that Ryden's not yet found a suitable artist for it, but at some point a mural. Otherwise, though, everything's looking quite good. The great hall which you fought the witch in, and once the dragon statue lied in, is all been cleaned out. To your understanding, Adi Makara has moved the dragon golem elsewhere.
Yes.
Not wanting it to be in a public location.
Okay. Work it in a vault somewhere, and we can research how to activate it ourselves later.
But everything in the palace is starting to look, fairly good shape actually. You find bedchambers are already prepared for you and all of your court.
How?
Which have a beautiful view over the city and the local landscape. You can even see the ocean just off in the distance.
How big is the palace? Like, how many people would be in here? Like, or if it would staffed to imperial standards or whatever.
That's hard for you to judge exactly. It's a fairly opulent building. You could have a lot of officials working in here. At least on the bureaucratic side, you could have a lot of officials working in here. You'd have quite a decent court. There's plenty of room for you to hold galleries and stuff like that if you wanted to. It is by itself, it is a small palace.
Right.
How
many people would I need to have a skeleton crew, to actually make it work properly?
That I doubt Amulet would actually probably even know exactly how many exactly, though. For your understanding, between Ryden and the rest of the court, that will be handled for you for the most part.
I suppose.
You will have a basic crew to run it. Between clerks and record keepers, scribes, cooks, cleaners.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you'll
probably have 100 staff at least in the palace itself.
Yeah, cool. No, he will definitely explore his new domain if there is no other pressing concerns. He'll want to investigate as much of the palace as he can and commit as much of it can to memory. So because it's going to be his new seat of residence, his new home, as it were. So he know it well enough, and
rather opulently on the upper floor of it is this kind of large domed room, which contains where you can see clearly used to be places that the elves when they were here would put art up, paintings, sculptures, and they would use it as an art gallery or function room. For them to hold their noble functions in, be it a banquet or whatever else.
Yep.
A rather opulent room. The glass windows up top being rather beautiful, with the fact that they've also just remained fairly well preserved. It's hard to find that much glass in any normal building. Glass is expensive, especially when it's big.
Yep.
Something else that Amulet noticed.
Uh-huh.
You actually passed that perception check. There's... You realise there's a few secret passages in here.
Definitely want to explore that.
They seem like primarily shortcuts from locations to locations throughout the building, but there's a few kind of secret little passages, such as one from what is now your throne, from the very bottom of your throne room to that leads bypassing kind of the main area up and leading to the upstairs quarters.
Okay. It's stuff like that is definitely something he wants to memorize. Try to find what is the closest secret passage to his own bedroom, and know what that is, so he can come and go through that if he once.
It does appear there is a secret passage in your room itself.
He will make as sure of that as he possibly can, and at some point probably like bring in, Vickers or someone to be like, hey, I've found a couple of secret passages. I need some help trying to see that these are really the only ones, and so not suddenly someone is in my bedroom without me noticing. That'd be kind of bad.
The one in your room itself appears to be a one-way one, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
It leads out to the garden outside it.
Oh,
So probably an escape passage it was designed for.
right.
You're gonna give Vickers a heart attack.
Because, security risks. Oh.
Yeah.
Of course, any of these could be sealed up at your choice if you needed them to.
No need yet.
But it's good to know
Always
that they
leave.
exist.
Always leave one visible, and always leave one secret for you.
Yeah, exactly. So they find the visible one, and then they believe that's the only one. But in
Yes.
reality,
There's more.
As Amnesty is exploring around, perhaps heads outside for that little passageway just to see where it leads.
sure.
You suddenly see a series of like bright blue glows kind of head up the body of the tower, of the spire on the far side of the city.
Okay.
And suddenly you see from like all of the stone around, from like top of the walls and from like some of the pavement you see off in the distance, suddenly just steam begin to rise as a lot of stone begins to rapidly melt.
Hey. Got the heating up. Or we're
There's
under
a-
attack. It's either or. It's
Yeah,
hard.
you also definitely sense a tingle in the air that wasn't there before. There's a lot of mana now being just released.
Okay, cool.
And you melt.
Yeah.
And you die.
Exactly, because it was actually an attack by like an enraged like fire giant tribe or something.
A miniature sun appears in front of you.
An animated super angry solar descends from heaven and melts you.
Yeah, as you walk through the central streets of Sorkai, it's like the once frozen over like kind of pond river in the middle has begun to thaw. And there's actually like running water through the Cylinder city now,
Woohoo!
which is rather beautiful.
Right.
And many of the buildings are starting to show their kind of red gleam a little bit brighter now that there's a proper kind of color to it
Oh, of
instead of
course.
just frozen.
City will be scrubbed from stem to stern. So it can really gleam to be a royal city. Absolutely.
And it's made fairly good time, given you basically just annexed an entire region in like only 6 weeks.
Yep. Very good.
Though, in fairness, there weren't any local inhabitants you had to squish down, but there were a few, but you dealt with those.
That's fair.
The goblins didn't really stop you. How could they?
The goblins weren't the most dangerous thing for sure. It was other unsavory things in that place.
You do definitely see a bunch of the towns. You definitely see a bunch of the peasants who are like, all of a sudden I'm very amazed as like the entire city begins to heat up.
Up.
Of course, they've never witnessed anything like this before. They've barely witnessed magic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're dirty peasants. How on earth could they?
Now suddenly, just, like the entire place is heating up. The stone, like there's basically now heated pavement all over the city.
Great.
I almost you feel like if you stay in these furs too much, you might even get too warm in the city after a while.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's a good display of power, if nothing else. I mean, look at this. Look at this, people. You can live and work in a glorious, like magical elven city. How can you say no to that? Look at the squalor you live in other villages, but here you can be somebody, man. You can be a citizen of the imperial capital.
Honestly, things begin to pick up for Amnes at this point, though.
Yeah.
Because as things begin to heat up rapidly, it doesn't take long for news to spread that the city is getting warmer. And over kind of like week 2 of this term, the city becomes bombarded with immigrants from south.
All right.
Coming up, following your things, and Amnes is basically stuck in the whole game of trying to like direct all the people up here, like But you got to finally figure out where to house everyone. You got to keep everyone in order. It's like, oh boy.
Yep. That's good. That's great. You know, if you work, you are welcome.
Seems like there are various people willing to work. Some, everyone's skill sets varies. You've got everything from, a baker.
Yep.
To people who want to go fishing in the local riverside. Some people you can hear go past discussing a lumber mill.
Oh yes.
As well as various other functions throughout the city. The market in particular seems to be particularly busy with merchants.
Hey.
As you hear various groups of fairly rich merchants, as well as a couple of nobles you recognise from down in Freyfrost, all looking around for like potential shops to buy.
Oh, I see. Well, it's internally rubbing his hands, feeling like, yes, commerce is happening. Industry, isn't it glorious?
They see the value of this currently dirt cheap real estate, of how it's going to get very expensive very fast.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
And of course, the nobles, with their rather large coin purses, do feel like spending.
Well, if you want to buy a house in the royal city, the Lord Raiden is open for business, I'm sure.
Is there a particular area Amnes will focus in with this? A particular kind of people he'll try to please as the it starts happening?
Good. That's a good question. I mean,
got everything from the normal peasants to the clergy to the nobles to the merchants.
I feel the peasants are suitably impressed just being here and seeing him. They don't need to be pleased anymore. They're happy not to live in squalor. The church, we're already buddy-buddy with the church. I don't feel like we need more at front at the moment. Now, the merchants are happy with the marketplace, and that's fine. I think in the nobles, because we have sort of ignored them a little bit, or perhaps even offended them, depending on how you look at things. I'd be maybe smoothing things over with them, or taking an audience with them to listen to their concerns or whatnot. Might actually be a good idea, I'm thinking.
You do have a rather beautiful function hall above your new palace.
Yes. Let's put together a little soiree or something for the nobles that come to visit. A little glad handing, bash for the nobles who have made it up here. You can talk to his Royal Highness and just get to know each other a little. Having a nice time doing it.
Your squire will offer to help with the court proceedings as well.
Yes, very good indeed. That'll be. I think that's what we do.
In that case, would you be able to give me a persuasion roll?
I can certainly try.
In addition,
All right.
you have the bardic inspiration.
Hey, take it. Let's see.
So this is an area that Arkland is good in. He can give you that.
Oh,
29.
Talk about parties, man.
That is just
Yeah.
resplendence.
I like the icon.
Yeah. I mean, that is as good as I can possibly get it.
Now, it's not wrong that the local nobles were somewhat offended by all the stuff that had happened recently, especially with Mayor Rahal.
Yeah.
The upstart peasant, while the nobles feel like they're just sitting here like no one's approaching them.
Yeah.
For Amnes to then offer like a small shindig up in the new palace before it's fully opened to the public.
Yes, an exclusive VIP preview, early access.
As you have a meet and greet with all of them, Amnes definitely puts on a show.
Mm-hmm.
That's to be clear. It's well, 29. There are a few people who would not be impressed by Amnes's raw charisma he pumps up during this.
Yeah, no, he definitely approaches this like he is a warrior, he is a conqueror, but he is also royalty, and that is what he is trying to convey here. That he might be, a brutal and efficient warrior and a scary person to meet on the battlefield, but above all of that, he is majesty, right? There's royal blood and royal line and god damn it heavenly mandate surrounding him. And that is a thing to impress upon these people. Otherwise might think themselves above him, which they are clearly not, but he will also respect them. Like, these are as close to equals in standing as he will get, and the ability to just hang out with him, have him listen to them talk for long hours about whatever it is they talk about. That's a quite heaven is listening. You're talking directly to the All-Father, pretty much.
As you have this long conversation, shoulder to shoulder, with various pompous nobles, many of which are sitting there with the hastily made hors d'oeuvres.
Yep.
And glasses of wine standing around with you, discussing the local politics and the changes. One of the local nobles offers a toast to their new ruler, which seemingly the whole crowd will get involved with the toast to Amanus. So how many do it out of just wanting to join to the crowd, and how many actually support you? Unclear, but you definitely think they made a good impression, if nothing else.
Yeah, 29. At that point he can feel himself that this is going pretty well, all things considered.
It most certainly is. You're shoulder to shoulder with many nobles, some of which are familiar. Like they give you a bit of a familiarity of, their personality types. Partly because probably you were part of their personality. Like, you had a similar personality a while back.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact, though, that the meet and greet does go well. Though probably it's a good thing that you have the tankard that stops you getting drunk.
Always helps.
Because people would insist for you to join the drinks as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, the tankard goes up and down for sure.
Tankard of sobriety, go.
Yep. Great gift.
With that, though, okay. Just need to make an adjustment on my side for your noble relations. That went really well.
Yes, it did. Amnas will also, after everything's done, commend Arklan for a job very well done. Like, pretty much telling him that this is probably the best party he has attended in years, and commend Arklan for being instrumental in making it happen.
He gives another one of his very kind of practiced thank yous to it. But again, you can see that kind of like twitch in him of like him being proud of like the compliment.
Yeah, we need to.
He does not want to show it, but it's clear.
Definitely like a Valor Bard or like a College of Blades or something like that. Probably Valor Bard is what we're going to make.
When going around having served drinks, having smooth up some people for you.
Yeah, definitely Valor Bard. Gonna make this guy.
Yeah, he's a warrior, but he's also very charismatic. So.
Oh, incredibly, yes. The warrior and a poet.
Not good at much else, but that's fine.
I mean, what I need him for, really.
He can read, write, sing, play an instrument, and also punch someone.
And I mean, even the nobles who weren't here, probably the tales of this pretty damn successful bash will spread. People will understand, but wow, that was really something, and that Lord Amanas, wow, what an incredibly kingly, appearance and whatnot.
They certainly will. Can you roll me a d10?
I can roll a d10, I suppose. 1d10. 9. 9 is pretty good, probably.
You, No, it's pretty good.
Hmm. The last session was kind of rough on the rolls, but this time.
Not gone too bad.
Don't jinx it now.
Cut out, sorry.
Amnes receives a variety of gifts also from this party.
I love gifts.
It starts off as some small things, like 200 gold.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, cold hard cash. I'm not saying no.
You're not entirely sure if those were gifts or the nobles were so drunk they just left their coin purse behind.
You know.
Either way.
Either way. Yep.
So that went well. You also end up finding a love poem left addressed to you by some noble woman who's currently trying to court you.
Oh my.
Oh no.
It begins. Fair enough.
Make that 2 separate poems from different women.
Oh my goodness. 2 love poems.
Which is certainly a statement.
Let's see what they rhymed with plate mail.
I shall send out to your foes plenty of hate mail.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's pretty good. Yeah. Well, we'll put them in the definitely maybe category.
Other than that, one of the individuals you meet with, though, stands out a little bit. As it is a rather fancy-looking dwarven individual who came to speak with you.
See.
His beard, like, all braided with, like, bits of gold and diamond jewelry in it.
Yeah.
As he's clearly been drinking the other nobles under a table half the night. So he can't. Though, as it stood, even if you didn't have your like magical protection, your magical chalice, given your fortitude save, you probably could still drink most of the nobles on the table anyway.
Pretty good at the fortitude save, I gotta say. It is a +6. So
yeah, admittedly, most of that's just because you're a paladin, but still. The dwarf kind of comes up to you, rather boisterously, raising his glass. I was unsure what to think when your name arose back up, but cheers to someone who takes charge.
Amnes nods amicably and takes the cheers and has a sip of his tankard, and he says, "I thank you for the kind comment, Master Dwarf. I do not believe we have been presented."
No, I don't believe we have. But nonetheless, let me introduce myself now. I am Baylor Shattershield. It's good to meet you.
Amnes inclines his head again and says, Shattershield, yes, I do believe one of your clan perhaps assisted us in some of our endeavors here.
Thrawn, I imagine.
Nods, yes.
Hard-headed, but I understood that he accepted mercenary work for you.
Yes, and quite competent. We were pleased with his performance.
You know, I must say, this has been quite the. If this is how you plan to make all of your upcoming soirees, I daren't not miss them.
Smiles and says, "Well, this one is particularly special. It is the first one in the new palace. Only the most promising of allies and supporters were invited."
Here. You know what I'm going to do? As a sign of what's hopefully going to be years of good relations between my people and yours, how about, to help you defend this wonderful new city of yours, I send up a couple of ballista.
Amnes nods and says, "That be a wonderful gift. Happily accept. We are a bit short on siege engineers. your people's brilliant craftsmanship would be an absolute blessing for us.
Then I, Baelor Shattershield, first diplomat of the clan, will have it arranged and bequeathed to you 4 ballistae for your city walls.
Amanas will nod graciously and says, "Then I, Lord Amanasil Sorakai, will accept your generous offering, first diplomat, and to the greater understanding and cooperation between our peoples." He will raise his tankard.
He raises tankard as well. Yes, to many years of cooperation.
Glug glug. He drinks more from his tankard, silently sending a silent thank you to Zed for this gift. Otherwise, this would be bad, probably.
In addition, the dwarves, as part of this, would like to request if they could take one of the buildings as an embassy.
Oh, of course. We are happy to accept our dwarven allies.
Then a dwarven embassy will be established in Sorkai automatically.
Awesome.
Though your diplomat will have to have fun with dealing with that mess, given you've not she's not seen anything yet.
She's out during another party. We'll deal with that when we get there. This dwarf is clearly a man of action and a generous patron, so...
The dwarves also smell profit.
Oh yes, no doubt. But 4 free ballista, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. But you've rolled very well, as it turns out.
Yes, Amanas is quite pleased with himself. Like when he's done with the party, he's like, "Yes, still got it."
Right. Meanwhile, speaking of your first diplomat, Ceres, you're currently meeting. You're probably in your office right now, considering that you've got your next meeting with the diplomat from Reichhold to consider about the trade for lumber. The question becomes for Ceres, though. Like right now, at the current state of things, she thinks you're going to kind of get out as like a +1 build point per turn kind of profit. Does she have any tactics she wants to try and put in to try and maybe change the balance?
My mind's blank.
He's clearly an expert in terms of just the raw numbers and logistics. And smoothing things so far.
I think I'm going to win over it by numbers. I think I'm going to have to win. Persuasion.
Yeah, I think so too. Like trying to... One thing being like, well, he is clearly a superior, math magician here. And we would benefit greatly from his incredible wisdom of business. And also the incredible what do you call it, like benefit of having us as allies moving forward. Like, give us a good deal now, and we will look very favorably upon you later on. We remember our friends. Like, tried that sort of diplomatic manipulation.
I did.
You okay, Halldamir?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea there.
So that's the route Ceres are going to take, is trying to like pressure them that way. Okay.
It would be too bad if something happened to the lumber, wouldn't it?
That sounds like we're switching to intimidation.
The forest blows up because we send the mad gnome over.
Oh, Persephone!
There's some forest that needs blown up.
I mean, I feel like anytime you have a diplomatic mission, if you send Persephone along, that's basically what you're doing.
There's a
Yeah.
destined round.
Yes.
Like, either you deal with me, or you deal with the gnome outside with a bazooka.
We have rigged your palace to explode, and
Very well. You can try a persuasion for this as well, though you did persuade him last time, but be good for.
Sorry, it was. Did you say?
You're free to persuade
Persuasion.
him again if you want to.
Yeah.
You did that last time, but you're free to do it again.
It's a poor roll.
that's a poor roll, unfortunately. Do you have an
Yeah.
inspiration? Can you re-roll? Maybe?
I think I do.
You have one inspiration.
You know, let's do it.
That's better.
18. That's better.
I would tell you with a 9, the amount of money you'll be getting will come down.
Sweet.
It would be very embarrassing to the next council meeting. Ceres comes, it's like, yeah, no, I actually promised to sell.
Totally blew
king
it. I'm
to you.
sorry.
But basically, I've got like a little point thing I might have to add up for like figuring out how much you're getting.
Yeah,
Really poor rolls will result in you getting a net loss from the trace.
right.
Really good rolls will result in, of course, pet positive, and you potentially also could get breaking even.
18's a pretty good roll, I gotta say.
Yes. With an 18, that puts you in category 3, which
Of category 3.
it's category 3 out of like 6, so
You know,
could be higher, but
strive to be average, right?
yes. As long as it's not category 1. Category 1 is loss.
Oh, no, we don't like that.
Be bad day.
Yeah.
Ceres, your diplomatic venture seems to go well. Mostly. You don't really manage to push up the price any more than you had before, but at least on the bright side, the diplomat definitely seems to be keen to work with you.
All right, that's always good. Nice work.
So you manage to sit down and have perhaps a polite dinner with the diplomat. Kind of explain a few things. Would you be offering Reichhold an embassy in your new land?
Why not, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Have a little embassy town.
It's fairly common, after all. How about
Yeah.
little embassies? Very well. Well, so the final outcome will end up being still the +1 build point value. You didn't manage to raise it any higher, but the in addition, Ceres also manages to get a free sample from them.
Oh,
So congratulations, you can add to your own office a very finely made new fine like wood desk for your office.
ooh,
Oh,
Ooh, very nice.
Nice.
always good to get one of those.
your own like resolute desk or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's actually really well made. The carpentry from Reichhold is actually really damn good.
Master
They don't
desk.
have much else in the way of exports, but they got really good carpenters.
If diplomacy is performed by the desk, does she get a bonus?
If Ceres takes people to our office.
Maybe things like written on the desk are extra fancy.
If nothing else, it looks ostentatious.
Yeah.
So
The diplomat needs an ostentatious office.
very well. I'm going to immediately add that to the build point counter. It's effective immediately. Okay. And we'll also be able to handle the black sending stone for today.
Okay.
Now, could you set the scene for us, Liza? How would Zed go about researching a magical object like this? I presume he's like probably in the study library.
Yeah, it's a study of library. Like, there are pile of like books categorized how to do magical something about sending stone, and then he like talks theory with Lady Charlotte and experience stuff with like herbalism and alchemism and like his arcane knowledge and try to remember stuff and just goes around researching also from like old magical books and knowledges that he knows, and I don't know, maybe wrote a spell for augury and 6 of stars.
Lady Charlotte's kind of going around doing the kind of equivalent of like, though not highlighting because that would actually damage in this era, of course, because you only got one copy of books. But she's going around like doing the equivalent of like what you do modern day, like highlighting like different passages in books, putting putting a what do you call them
Notations.
Little notations and bookmarks in a lot of the different books, like trying to assemble together. Like, okay, so what do we know about it? This.
And that can also gather them to his like own notebook. In the end, make a thesis about it.
You can roll me an Arcana roll here.
Sure.
You were going to get a +2 on whatever the final outcome here because Charlotte's with you.
I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't spend all my spells just for enchant ability for intelligence to gain advantage.
You cannot.
Yeah, thought so. I need more spells for that. Yeah, I need more spells for that.
Ouch. You have an inspiration.
I already use it.
He did already use it. I can confirm that. Oh, speaking of Amnes, with that hell of a party, have an inspiration.
Hey.
That was a good party. But well, the good news is, regardless of your role there, Zed, you are going to be completing your research this week. But there is complications. As Zed works away, kind of studying it, it is indeed at its base, it is indeed a sending stone. Though you realise it's not a ordinary design for a sending stone. Firstly, it's not one-to-one. It's not one sending stone linking to one sending stone. It's a small group of sending stones linking to each other. Which is interesting. So I guess more of a group chat than a single message. But more interesting, you realise there is some blood magic upon these stones. That is familiar enough to figure out what the blood magic is. It appears that these stones have a effect on them to help. Basically, if you know how to use them properly, you can use the stones to locate all the other stones in the network. Though, from what you can tell, it's only supposed to work for elves of the same bloodline. It's clearly meant for blood elf use only. And even then, potentially a certain, maybe possibly in a family of blood elves, taking that into account. Which possibly indicates to you that the person who has one of the other ones in here may be the Blood Witch's family.
I mean, that quest that so. Surprisingly, it worked with this kind of way. I know. He expected a family member to come visit the Blood Witch whenever.
Oh, right, because we still have her corpse, right?
No, that's buried, but the blood witch kind of hinted that way that somebody's gonna go, so it has to be like closer family or like.
I mean, the blood witch did say someone from her family would be coming.
Yeah.
She did ask for a corpse to be preserved, but you were opposed to it.
I mean, it's buried. It's professionally buried into the forest.
Did you mark the grave?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
With a gold coin. And possible grave.
That's just a gold coin. It'll probably get lost.
That'll be.
I mean, the coin is with the body, and then there's a grave.
Yeah, pretty good when they come get that corpse that we were supposed to preserve. And they were like, yeah, it's in the forest, probably dug up and eaten by badgers at this point.
No. It's professionally buried.
Oh, I see.
Just knows how to dig a deep grave.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
At least I think I mentioned something like that he would go buried in the forest, like whenever we dealt with the blood witch.
Yeah. Sadly, Zed doesn't. Well, Zed's like they're trying to figure out exactly how to manipulate the stone, because obviously it's not really designed to respond to him. It's clearly designed to be more, to be more private.
It can be Sarah's portal. I know what it does.
Yes. You also, as Zed is working and perhaps getting rather frustrated, well, it ends up taking a rather large fall from the table.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
You did roll a natural 1.
Yeah, but what about the table?
What's that?
Stone fell off the table.
Yes, the stone, taking a bit of a fall of the table, appears to have gotten a bit of a crack on it.
God damn it, Zed.
So congrats, you know what it does, but you've also broken it.
Are you gonna blame it on Lady Charlotte?
No. I assume it cannot be fixed with mending spell.
A mending spell will not be sufficient.
I thought so. Well, Lady Mikara is, Auntie Mikara is free after this thing, so.
Have her mend the thing, yeah, maybe.
She's a masterful master of magic. She knows her ways.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And this can be the favor he does for Sid. Kind of. He doesn't need anything else. Though Sid doesn't hint that, but Aunt has shown it.
I mean, if you ask her very nicely.
I mean, he will ask nicely, of course. Though, and he tells, of course.
There is one other interesting effect, though, as you're doing this, though. A certain item that you have seems to respond as you were working with it, though.
Oh, great.
The amulet of Lorenzo's
Of
that you've been wearing.
That time I didn't. You are not even a problem.
The amulet you completely forgot that you had.
I mean, I have given my points about the amulet earlier, so it's not mistaken. I have forgot it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that must be incumbent. So, does somebody speak back to me or what?
You don't really no one really speaks back to you, but instead I'm going to, all that everyone else will know, out of character, is that Zed ends up seeing a little bit of a vision of something, though I'm going to send you between sessions what that vision is.
Okay. Ooh.
Curious.
As the amulet will just kind of start gently glowing around your neck for a few seconds.
Damn stars, of course you have to give me visions.
Of course.
Kill them all. What?
The blood, what's wrong?
Don't worry, you only get suspicious that he has to roll a charisma save, then it's probably mind control.
Desire new flesh.
My weakest save, shall I roll it now or?
Oh dear.
I'm getting mind control. Have you seen his will save? His charisma save, sorry?
4! There's my charisma.
Yeah, if that is mind control, you're screwed.
Lady
Oh.
Rahal just looks at me as I raise my weapon.
Exactly. Kill all humans.
I must see the tracker.
Well, I'm also going to go ahead and okay, 1 second. So that's going to resolve that for the moment. You now know what's the Black Sending Stone. What's different about the Black Sending Stone, though, which will also become useful for something else. Oh, in addition, also you also learn the group will also learn a recipe for producing producing a regular Sending Stone.
Oh, yay!
So they can now be crafted
Yay.
by the court mage.
Neat.
We need some of those.
But can I persuade Aunt Mikara to help with my broken flick track that I did? You know.
That's a different issue to figure out, and we'll handle that later.
Great. I will buy you a fancy dinner if nothing else.
Right. I'm just going to go ahead and make a few quick changes on the thing. Because what Vicar is going to do is not going to affect the monthly income.
Hmm.
So I'm actually going to quickly do the income for this week, which is +5.
Alright.
And then I'm going to update I need to update the treasure. I need to update the income because now Sorkai will be annexed.
Woo!
Hooray.
Which is good news.
Good news.
I think, Seth will also leave a note for Ceres. I might have tracked the stone. Sorry.
The fact that's completely fucked. I mean, yeah.
That's the last time Ceres leaves research to Zed. She's like, yeah, I can trust Zed, and then he comes back, it's broken, doesn't learn anything.
I mean,
Just can't trust. You just can't get good help these days.
I mean, you heard how he dealt with the Swarming Vault.
And also, he keeps talking about the blood god. What is that?
Exactly. He's all blood must flow. I don't know.
Oh man,
Strange.
I know he's certain. Jeez.
Death to all humans.
Becomes like super elf supremacist.
Need to start cloning Eris. She's just too important and useful.
I shall send my class to a necromancer.
Resurrecting his wife was a good idea now that he thinks about it.
Oh god.
I shall make a flesh golem.
Exactly. The amulet has told me things. Wonderful dark secrets. We can't rebuild her. We have the technology.
Yeah, give me a second. I need to get the calculator up so I can just add up a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Thing.
And then you've completed which edicts so far? You've done that one, that one. Okay. Yeah, sadly, Sorkai still has plenty of expenses of it. Farming's not great up there yet.
Yeah, expected.
Which doesn't help. And nor does it's like farming's not great up there, which is bad, and you're having to spend a lot of mana crystals on upkeeping the wards.
Yep.
Of course, that'll maybe be easier once you get once you get the mines up for that.
Yep.
Which will get rid of that cost. Yeah, whoops.
Yes.
I mistyped. It's fine. So you're going from +4 income up to +7 income.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
This turn. As I had to do this mess to recalculate.
Oh gosh. Yes. Well, that's nice. We can start getting more people.
Sally, your army cost also went up by 1 because of the ballistae actually need maintaining. But hey,
Right.
the ballistae.
There we can shoot things.
They're probably worth a build point to have ballistae.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that is your income breakdown, which is not too bad. Yeah, you're seeing you're paying 4 per turn right now just to upkeep the wards though. So
Yeah.
as
There
is
it
the
is.
But you're getting 6 from Sorkai by base, 2 from the marketplace, 1 from the extra logging since you've cleared out the forest of goblins. And because the Skaldi are coexisting, you're also getting 1 to Faith Tithe from them.
Ooh.
As some of their faithful are occasionally bringing money. Not much, but a little bit.
Bad, not bad.
Yeah,
Hooray.
they have a temple, which means they pay taxes on the temple grounds. So, yeah, there's something. Yeah. Next time when we come around, because the annexation will be done. But next time we will actually cover exercising the watch for Vickers, and then the next meeting.
All right. Sounds good.
I will clear, however, all of the markers that have been resolved. There we go. Most of the council's freed up now.
Hey.
Awesome.
It won't be Lady Eliza who's actually doing something once it's over.
I'm sure we can find some stuff to do.
Oh, you definitely can. In your case, if nothing else, you can shut people and do things faster.
That was a good option to have.
I mean, there's a certain Fey temple that is building at some point. So why not?
Yes. Yeah. For next time, though, we will cover the last bit of Vicus's action.
Yep.
And go from there.
All right. Sounds good.
I hope you all enjoyed playing tonight.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
fun.
Fun, relaxing session.
Nice to hang out again.
But it was just lots of talking, lots of decision making, in a bit of role play.
Good stuff.
So, the last 2 sessions you had nothing but kicking things in the face, basically,
Cool.
and Zed build digging a very deep hole,
It's not
then
that.
chucking the group into a deep hole.
could be deeper.
Yeah,
No.
that note. All right. Well, I am very tired.
I thought it'd be a good time for end for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
You know, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna head straight to bed. Pretty much, I'm kind of falling asleep there.
I thought so.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
I'll catch you guys later. It was nice hanging out.
Same.
Take
Bye
care,
now.
guys.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Okay.
Next week.
Bye bye.